Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special Slice of Gaming retrospective on the Nintendo Switch. We are approaching the end of the Switch kind of life cycle, if you will. Obviously, there's going to be games, and there's actually, when we're recording this, a Nintendo Direct coming out tomorrow with even more games coming out. So this will immediately become outdated, but we thought it was the best time possible to kind of talk about the life of the Nintendo Switch, our history, our excitement, our favorite games, that good stuff. A lot of stuff to talk about. Very well renowned console with a lot of games. But I'm the Uncharted Wolf, and I am joined together with a very esteemed panel of fun people. For joining me, Jack, my Nintendo fanboy, who has been hating on Nintendo recently, so I don't know why I invited him.
It's all because I got a PS5 recently.
You gotta get off that PS5, bro. Okay, we gotta figure this out. And then I'm also joined by Bob.
Yeah, we couldn't get Reggie Fils-Aimé in today, so pull me back out. I guess I can talk about Nintendo.
God, Reggie, he's a busy guy, man. I think
He
he
is.
recently turned 64, which is like, man, he does not look 64. He looks incredible for his age.
Yeah.
And I'm also joined by Bench.
I'm here, and I guess I'm in the Nintendo mood because for the first time in probably 6 months, I'm playing a game on Switch.
Damn, that says a lot. that Switch, man. It's like, oh, we need a new one. But we're getting a new one, but we also want to talk about the old one. We want to talk about our long history with the Nintendo Switch from 2017 to 2025. That is an 8-year video game console lifetime. Holy shit. That is so long. I think the only other console that I can think of that's been like this long between consoles generations is the Xbox 360 to Xbox One, because that was also 8 years. And it's kind of crazy to think about. It's like, man, 8 years of this thing. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of points where like you definitely felt the age. I think honestly, literally when it came out, it was already pretty outdated tech-wise, but it was so cool from a technical standpoint. I was like, who cares? But then I think by year 4, when we started getting Switch Pro rumors, which we're going to get into all of that, don't worry, it was just like, man, we really need a new Switch or something. But of course, we're going to get into all that, kind of talk about our favorite moments, favorite games, Nintendo Direct memories, all that good stuff. But, I mean, before we get into that, if you guys want to find us, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcast platforms. We're most likely going to be on there. Like the podcast on YouTube. Any type of support helps. And follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming. But boys, we got a long one ahead of us, or hopefully a short one. We'll see how long it goes. Let's talk about Nintendo. We're going to talk a lot about Nintendo today, so just buckle in. I guess I'll talk real quick. Honestly, real quick. History with Nintendo as a whole. Like, before we even get into the Switch itself, like, how big of a Nintendo fan were you guys before the Switch, and like your history with the console and the brand and company? I'll start with you, Bench.
I think it's pretty well known, but I grew up with Nintendo. Nintendo was pretty much the only console I had until I had an Xbox 360, but I didn't play that much. And I didn't get like a PlayStation until like 2019. So I was fully grown up on Nintendo to the point where, looking back at the Wii U, in 5th grade I wrote a report for school on how it was like the best-selling video game console of all time. The Wii U. So I
Wait, the Wii.
always
I thought you said the Wii.
no, the Wii U. So I was just that much in the Nintendo bubble of just I only played Nintendo games. I watched the E3 stuff for Nintendo, but nothing besides that. I mean, my first like video game memory is getting a Nintendo DS for Christmas with Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. That was like my first video game I got when I was like 2 or 3. So I mean, I grew up with Nintendo, and it's just always been a constant in my life.
Dude, I mean, yeah, that's as hardcore as you can get with Nintendo. It is interesting. I don't think I'm the same in the way, but like I grew up with Nintendo the same way I grew up with PlayStation. It's like I kind of view them as like hand in hand with like how I grew up with both. I grew up with a PS2. I grew up with a Nintendo DS at the same time. I grew up with a PS3 and a 3DS at the same time. PS4 and Wii U at the same time. Wii U less so because like I got it pretty late, but still, I grew up with Nintendo the same way as I grew up with PlayStation, pretty much hand in hand, and they're a very important company to me. I grew up with a lot of Pokemon, played a shit ton of Pokemon growing up. Obviously, the Mario games, like Smash Brothers, is a very big one for me, and it is interesting, like how these franchises really just stick with us throughout our lives. Like every new entry feels like such a major event for certain franchises that, when a new Smash game comes out, it's kind of like I'm at a different point in my life, and that's a cool feeling, honestly. So yeah, I mean, Nintendo's been very special to me. Ja, what about you?
Oh, yeah. Definitely the biggest influence in my life, like in terms of not just video game companies, entertainment companies as a whole. Where yeah, like the Wii, I was playing that with my brother and sister. We got a Wii, and then that kind of got me hyped for when we got a 3DS. That was a birthday gift for me in like 2011, and then I enjoyed like Mario 3D Land, Mario Kart 7 on it, and then the year after. Oh, nobody wanted the Wii U, but my brother, he took me to the GameStop to get in line before it opened to get a Wii U. And I mean, we couldn't get it because they only gave it to people who pre-ordered, but he got it to me the next day, which was great.
That's
And I was
amazing.
so hyped for this thing. But yeah, throughout the Wii U, like Wii U's era, like yeah, I did play some of the games on there, but I also spent a fair bit of time collecting some of the amiibo. I think I got like 30 or something, and yeah, and then and also of course like the NES Classic, but man, with the Switch, oh sweet, this is the perfect time for me to brag. I got to play the Switch 2 months before it came out. I was invited to an event in Toronto.
Oh, yeah,
That's
because they did
cool.
those around the time of the Nintendo Switch presentation.
Yeah, I signed up and I got very lucky with it, and it was just it was just a really cool thing, and like I think yeah, this is the time that we're gonna talk more about it, obviously. But yeah, the Switch era of Nintendo was the time that they really hit it out of the park, and
Mhm.
just made us all feel happy as Nintendo fans.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's very different times from the Wii U to the Switch. Bob, I actually don't know too much about your history with Nintendo. I'm interested to kind of hear what you think.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have a weird history with Nintendo. My first piece of hardware was a Game Boy Color, um, and I think the first game I ever the first game I ever played on it, which was to my memory the first game I've ever played, was Mickey's Raceway Adventure, just like
As
an
one does.
Incredible.
isometric racer from the 90s.
That's where it all began.
That's where it all began. Especially if you've listened to the Mario Kart retrospective, it's like, oh, okay, that checks out. And then I had a Game Boy Advance, played a bunch of Pokemon. That's kind of where I fell in love with Pokemon. Got the SP, got the DS, and then after like the DS, was it DS Lite? I kind of hit that teenager age where I was like, now I'm gonna go over to Xbox. Like I'm gonna go play the mature games, and I like completely, pretty much disassociated with Nintendo. Actually, I take that back. We had a GameCube and we had a Wii, which lined up more with like the Game Boy Advance and the DS. But yeah, once like the 3DS and the Wii U hit, I like totally went dark for pretty much that entire generation, and then finally came back on the Switch. I think I waited a year just to be like, this better not flop like the Wii U. I'm gonna give it some time, even though it's like almost right away. But then because I said I'd wait for the first Pokemon mainline game, so I waited for Sword and Shield and then played like the backlog of 2017 and 2018, and yeah, I really realized on the Switch how much love I have for a lot of these franchises, and how much nostalgia I have for Nintendo, and the fact that like I don't have to be an edgy teen, to appreciate like that these are really good games. They're not just like kids games; like they're just genuinely well-made video games. So I kind of had like a renaissance with the Switch, and it really made me once again really appreciate Nintendo.
Dude, no, I mean, like, I get what you mean about that edgy teen era. There was a little bit of time where I was like so hardcore into PlayStation that I barely even touched my Nintendo devices except for like Pokemon, and I was like, I don't need Nintendo anymore. But it was that thing of like getting back into it, especially with the Switch, of like, oh no, wait, these games are just really well made, and obviously, Smash Brothers and everything. it's hard to deny just how like big the Switch was for a lot of people. Getting people to understand it's like, no, these games are awesome still, even if you're an adult. So getting into go ahead, Mitch. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say something about like the Switch launch for me, but we can if we're gonna talk about that, we can wait for then.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about actually the announcement of the Switch. So if you guys remember, technically it wasn't announced in 2016. It was announced in 2015. When Nintendo kind of announced their partnership with DNA, who do like a lot of their mobile games. They announced it under the name the NX. And famously, we got used to the NX code name for a long time. And they were like, oh, we're going to fully reveal the NX in 2016. And what we didn't know was that they were going to wait till October. And so it was pretty much the whole year of just pretty much nothing in relation to it. And then finally, they announced the date. Like, I think it was the day before or the week before, they had that, like, Mario peeking out behind the curtain showing, like, we're going to unveil the new console. It's like this weird-ass ad. And they showed off the Nintendo Switch in this commercial that, I'll be honest, I rewatched it, boys. It is a really good commercial. It kind of exemplifies, like, the coolness of the Switch, where it was this guy playing, like, it starts off with, like, this guy playing, like, Breath of the Wild on the Switch. And then he just like takes off the Joy-Cons and takes it out and like is playing a console game on the go. And you know, when you think about it just from an idea standpoint, it's like, oh, that's genius. Because handheld gaming always felt compromised in comparison to console gaming, where it's like, oh, we have 480 screen, models are weaker, the power wise. And it's like, no, actually now you can do your console games on the go anywhere you want. And obviously the Switch isn't like this powerhouse, so it doesn't truly feel handheld, but like it's still like very impressive for what they were able to do, especially in 2017. But yeah, I mean, do you guys remember like watching this original advertisement?
Yeah,
I do.
I do. Yeah, I was gonna say I was in class when I was watching it, and there's like some of the students like presenting and stuff, but like I was on my phone on the side watching this when it came out because I'm like I really want to see it. I can't wait till lunch period. But yeah, it was.
Ignore them.
Yeah, but yeah, it was six because this was the first time we had this whole concept, and like it was definitely rumored that like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a hybrid, and some dude on Reddit was like, yo, if it's not a hybrid, I'm gonna eat a Wii remote or something. It was crazy.
It was a funny time, dude. There was a lot of like, I mean, Bob, you kind of mentioned this. There was a lot of like not confidence in Nintendo at this time, especially with the Wii U. So it was like, dude, if you guys ever want to laugh, go back and like read up articles and like commentaries and stuff of like the Switch is gonna fail. It's like, okay, well, you guys did not know much. Dude, I was confident from the beginning. I'm like, I think this thing's gonna do something. I didn't know how much it was gonna do, but it did something. Which, I mean, damn, it did something big.
I mean, I was in 6th grade when the Switch launched and was announced. So, I mean, I just was completely out of the loop. I mean, I wasn't on Twitter when they said, oh, it's going to be announced soon. I mean, I probably saw, like, the trailer at lunch or something, but didn't really get into the hype cycle until that main presentation. I mean, I saw the trailer, but that main presentation was probably when I really got into the hype.
Right into that. That presentation on January 23rd, if I remember correctly. Big event.
Yep.
I mean, Ben, do you have any thoughts on that that Nintendo Switch presentation?
Like I said, I really didn't watch much gaming news back then. Like I wasn't on social media, so it was all secondhand. I don't even think I've ever completely watched that presentation from beginning to end. It was just like trailers after the fact. Like now, obviously, I'm going to be seated for the Switch 2 presentation throughout the whole thing, and I've been anticipating it for months. But it's just weird to think about all the way back then. I really wasn't just paying attention in that kind of way. But I think that, honestly, it helped me appreciate going into the Switch more into its launch.
Yeah,
I mean, it was hype. Just like seeing about everything, just it was extremely hype once I started to dig into what the Switch was. And I was like, I gotta be there day one.
I was rewatching this presentation recently. Jab, Bob, you guys watch this presentation?
No, I was definitely in the dark until it actually came out.
Dude, if you guys watch this presentation, it is one of the funniest things I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah.
It's really bad translations. They basically did translations on the spot, and I highly recommend everyone to just watch the segment with Suda51. No More Heroes creator. he just went completely off script. So the translator was like trying to keep up with him. It is so fucking funny. I was dying.
I remember there was one point where the translator messed up, and he was like, "Oh," he said, "Oh, that didn't go so well," and then he had to correct himself.
I think what immediately defined the Switch was that final Breath of the Wild trailer at that presentation.
Yeah, that Breath
Just
of the Wild
like-
trailer is something else.
When they went to New York and like Reggie and Onuma were there, that was
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bombastic trailer, emotional trailer. You're just losing your mind,
Fucking
and then
music.
it ends, and Zelda says, "Open your eyes, Link," and then it's the release date, and just the reactions online were bananas. Just absolute,
It was
just
a big
pure
deal.
amazement. You wanted to be there. You had to be there. It was crazy.
I mean, dude, it's a launch title, and I would argue one of the best video game launch titles of all time. I mean, if you want an example of like a game that perfectly coincides with its console, Breath of the Wild is that perfect game for the Switch, where you can play like long sessions and like get a lot of exploration done, or you can play a tiny bit and just like on the train or on the way to school. It's like that is such an incredible game to kind of show off what makes the Switch so special. Is that it's both a hardcore gaming and a casual gaming device. And I mean, like the game itself, we'll get into it, is like also very, very special. It's kind of hard to argue just how incredible that whole experience was as a Nintendo gamer, is like seeing that trailer. And also, I mean, dude, there's a lot of other things. There was the Mario Odyssey reveal. I think this was where Xenoblade 2 was first revealed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Splatoon 2. Our below 1-2 Switch.
Yeah.
Arms.
Octopath. Project
Yeah,
Octopath.
this was the trailer for Octopath. That was weird, but also
Which
really
started
cool.
the-
Because goddamn.
Yep, started the HD 2D craze.
Yeah, they did lots of stuff about that Nintendo presentation that like a lot of people thought it was bad, and I'm always like, really? Like this is a very good presentation. Yeah, it's slow, and there was a lot of like, there's some really funny moments with like Koizumi, basically like, oh, you could tell how many ice cubes are in with HD rumbles, and like him on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it's like this is a great like presentation of video games to get you excited for like what this generation could bring.
Yep.
But then move into the launch, March 3rd, 2017. Jet and Bench, I think you two bought the Switch at launch.
Yep.
Me and Bob are late adopters because we didn't believe. So I guess I want to get you guys as kind of like launch memories. I'll start with you, Bench. Like, what was like the launch of the Nintendo Switch like?
I mean, this is probably the most like precious gaming memory I'd say I have, because I did not have a pre-order at all. Like there was no. I had saved up money on my own, but I didn't have a pre-order. So the day before I got out of school, I was in 6th grade. So crazy how long the Switch generation is, because I'm now going to be a junior in college when the second one comes
That's
out.
insane.
But so I got out of school and we immediately like called GameStop to see if we could get pre-orders. So we went to GameStop and they said, if you wait for a while, we can maybe get a pre-order. So we waited for like 2 hours in a long line, and we got a pre-order, but we had to be there to pick it up at midnight. So, I mean, it's just a straight shot into midnight launch. So we got the pre-order, which was just amazing on its own. Just like such a cool experience waiting there in GameStop. But then you immediately go into the midnight launch, and that was it's the one and only midnight launch I've ever been to, but it's also one of like the most memorable gaming experiences. I went there with my dad, and we just waited until midnight, and I got the Switch, and it was just like the craziest thing. You have it in your hands, you have the games, it was just like trembling through excitement, but he would not let me stay up that night to play Switch. However, he did let me skip school the next day. So that just made it even more memorable. I played Breath of the Wild for probably 12 hours straight that day. It all lined up perfectly. It was just such a memorable experience from like a family perspective and then a video games perspective, and that blended together. Just so memorable.
Dude, that's so funny. Like being able to skip school. I know a lot of friends that were like, "Oh, my parents let me skip school because of this game." And it's like they would never let me.
Every Pokemon game like clockwork. I just booked that off as the day I wasn't going.
That's crazy, man. Because it's like I asked once, I think, and they're like, no, you're going to school.
Yeah,
And
it
I was
was.
like, okay, I learned from there. I was
Yeah.
like, no, I can't do that anymore. Jet, what about you? Launch of the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, yeah. So I was lucky enough to actually get a pre-order. Like they weren't too bad, at least on some of the Canadian sites. Where like when I got it, it was up for like a solid like half an hour to an hour. I think it was like a day or two after the presentation. But then yeah, once I got it, I got it off Amazon. It shipped directly on the day. I was worried. I'm like, oh, I don't want to wait over the weekend, but nah, they got it right there on the day, and I was so hyped. Like my sister and I, we opened it like as if it was like our Christmas, and we were just playing at Switch, and yeah, and of course we got Breath of the Wild with it, obviously. And so yeah, we were playing it, and it was just sick. I was just like shook of it. I mean, my favorite thing was when you first set up the Switch and you click the Joy Cons together, it makes
Yep.
this like it makes that big the click noise, and I'm like, whoa, this is like
Feels so good.
yeah, it feels so satisfying. But yeah,
Yeah, no, it was a big moment. I mean, that big reveal, that presentation, that launch, like I mean, we'll talk about the launch games in a bit, but it felt like an exciting time for Nintendo fans. Like it's like, hey, finally we can like have something to really like latch onto after a really disappointing generation with the Wii U. And the 3DS is awesome, but like it was tough, especially near the end of the 3DS generation, where it felt like they were kind of just throwing shit out the wall. So it's like, can we get something to be excited for? And the Switch was like, here it is. It's like, hell yeah. Let's talk about launch titles. So on launch from Nintendo, I don't know if any of you guys played Snipper Clips. I wanted to get to this, but I never had that.
Oh, that's a great game, honestly.
I played the
I
demo.
played
Yeah,
Yeah, the demo was the one I only played the demo, but it was really fun.
Yeah, I've always heard it's like a really fun puzzle game that's like good in co-op, but I never got around to it. We gotta talk about it though. 1-2 Switch.
let's go.
Has anyone else played it or just Jet?
I've never
I
played
played
it.
God, Jet. This is all you, man. Talk about
let's
1-2
go.
Switch.
Yeah. So I actually ended up getting this like a year or so later. It was on clearance for like $20 at this Canadian retail called The Source. So I'm like, might as well get it. And honestly, it's not that bad of a game for college parties, which is
Oh, yeah.
where I'm.
Okay, are we good?
Yeah. So this game quite literally broke me. It was uh, like the HD Rumble stuff. Oh
Okay, sorry about that.
no.
Jax
So
is also breaking a bit.
yeah,
Oh.
mine was breaking a bit, but not. But I think we're back. Yeah. So
Okay.
1-2 Switch.
I'll
What?
make a note to him. But yeah, 1-2 Switch. Anything more you want to say about it?
Yeah, so it was just a cool game to really test the HD Rumble, but aside from like maybe 20-30 minutes of fun, it's alright. You're not gonna be playing much more than that.
You know, shout outs to 1-2 Switch. I feel like that was a case of like they wanted something to kind of show off the coolness of the Switch, like the cool shit that you could do with it. But they're really like kind of felt like they haphazardly threw something together. And then they haphazardly threw out one of the worst games of all time with everybody 1-2 Switch. So God bless them. There's some like random stuff. Like I think it was always cool that like Super Bomberman R. That was always a funny one to me, where like they sold it day one, and then people bought it. And it's like, oh, we got to make a sequel. It's like people only bought this because there was a launch title for the Switch. I don't know what a sequel would have done, but really, let's get into the obvious one: Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Now, the way I want to kind of do this, we have our top 10 Switch games, and basically, as we go through the years, we're going to mention where it is on our personal top 10, if it is on our top 10. I have Breath of the Wild. It's at number 8 for me on my top 10. I don't know if it's on any of y'all's.
Number 4 for me.
Number 4 for Jet, okay. And then, Bop, you're a hater.
I am.
We'll get to that. And then, Bench, you said you have Tears of the Kingdom instead.
Yeah, I have Tears of the Kingdom instead.
But I mean, Breath of the Wild, I mean, we could talk about our experience. I was blown away by this game. I remember I actually played it the year it came out. I didn't have a Switch until 2018, but I bought it my sister's boyfriend had a Switch, and I would like play on that while they were hanging out and shit. And I was so blown away by like the sense of exploration and like the world and what I was basically able to do. And I obsessively played that game for like a long time on a Wii U because I still had a Wii U. So it's like I bought it on Wii U and played that version, which is practically the same as the Switch version. But I really love that game to this day. I think what it did for open world games basically opened the eyes of a lot of developers and show like, hey, you can do something different with open world games. You can kind of take a different step in a completely new direction and limit the player. Have less like icons on the map and stuff to do, but kind of like focus on that sense of exploration and discovery. And it led to me really having a really big reawakening with the open world genre at that time, which is already a genre I love, but I was like, oh wow, they can be something way more if you really are willing to put the time in to do that. But yeah, man, I love Breath of the Wild. It's still a very special game to me. It's one I always see people. It's like, oh, Tears of the Kingdom invalidates it. And it's like, I love Tears of the Kingdom. Obviously, I like it more. I still like going back to Breath of the Wild. It's still a very cool game to just go back to. And it's like, wow, there is a lot of cool things that even Breath of the Wild does better than Tears of the Kingdom, in my opinion. But that's a topic for another day. I want to get into Jat, since you also had on your list number 4. I mean, what do you think of Breath of the Wild?
Oh yeah, incredible game, especially for like the first game to play on Switch. Oh, it was, I mean, visually absolutely stunning. Still holds up really well even after like what 8 years. And so the thing is, I never actually completed like the main story, and I don't know if that many people did. I think since they focused on just exploring and doing whatever. Like I liked completing the map. I wanted to go through the memories, even though the one where it was like, I think it was like the closest to like the Hyrule Castle or like near Ganon. It's like, oh my god, this dungeon's scary and everything. I'm like, no, I'm just here for the I'm just here for the memory.
Yeah.
But,
No. Breath of the Wild, yeah. I mean, that going Hyrule Castle early is a cool thing that you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is just really really cool, and it's a game I want to at some point go back and really just like go through it and do like the proper story, because I know there's like all these sections and like I did change Link's costume a few times, but like I heard there's bits where it's like kind of part of the story where Link has to do it, and yeah, just a fun action game overall. Although, man, I got annoyed every time a weapon broke, or like every time you're climbing and the rain just falls. I'm like, come on.
It's a cool moment, man. It's a very special game in a lot of ways. Bench, I know you have a lot of love for this game.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild is just so special. I think it's one of the few games that just like encapsulated like immediately just everything. It kind of helped me understand what games could be, because for the longest time I never really beat games either, and still didn't a couple years after this, where I really sat down and beat games. I mean, it's just a game that I have 200 hours into, doing so many different things. Just it's, I wouldn't say it's like the perfect video game, but if I was going to send an alien a video game and say what can video games be, it would likely be Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, no, it's a very it was a big moment for the industry as well. I mean, it has a 97 on Metacritic, one of the highest rated games of all time, and I think fully deserved for a lot of reasons. Bob, saved you for last for a reason. What are you gonna say? What's the hater?
I don't want to knock the game. It's not a bad game. I think for me it was just interesting because I didn't have a like Zelda is famously one of my blind spots. Thank God Jack isn't here. Because like I just really don't have a connection. So for me, I also like this wasn't a priority buy for me, so I didn't get it until it was on sale, which was like years later.
On sale for like what, like $10 off?
No, I got it for 30. I was very patient and got it for 30. But I still like enjoyed the exploration, and I really liked how seemingly serious it was. Like it seemed a little bit more like, I don't know, I guess mature compared to some of the older ones. I think it's got an incredible soundtrack, or sometimes lack thereof when you're exploring, and just that sense of wonder and exploration. But yeah, it just unfortunately didn't really click for me. I still beat it and I still had a great time. Or maybe a good time, but yeah, not enough to crack the top 10. However, I do have good news. There is a Zelda on my list.
Oh yeah, I know all about that one, and I'm excited to talk about it. But yeah, Breath of the Wild, very special game. It won like all the Game of the Year awards that year, like almost everything. It was a pretty brutal sweep, and there's another game that I was kind of rooting for over it, but also it was kind of that thing of like, yeah, I'm fine with this. Like I don't care because like these are two goats. But moving into the rest of the year, I mean, there was a lot of games, like I said. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe the next month. Now, we did a whole Mario Kart retrospective, so there's not much to add, but 8 Deluxe, obviously, great game. We really thought we were going to get a Mario Kart 9. If you guys remember, there was a lot of like, oh, this is just to hold us out. This is just like, hold us out until the next Mario Kart game. It's like, no, they really just said this is the only Mario Kart game for a while, so have fun with it. But then, boys, on June 16th, 2017, one of the greatest games of all time came out.
Let's go.
A little game called ARMS.
Arms.
One that I never played, so you guys are gonna have to talk about it.
I ironically, I played it and enjoyed it.
Oh hell yeah, Jet! Talk your shit, man.
Yeah, ARMS was actually like it was a really fun game because it used the Joy-Cons in like an interesting way where like you hold them vertically and then you pull it, like you have each one as your arm, and then you're pressing the buttons at the front of the Joy-Con to grab people. And I just thought, whoa, this is a really cool idea for like a 1v1 fighting game. And
to have a fighting game that isn't Smash from Nintendo, which is always
oh yeah. I just liked it as a concept, and just graphically it was cool. I just wish we got more out of this. It was a good start, but I wish they did more with it.
Yeah, there was like DLC, right?
Yeah, it was like free updates. Yeah,
there was a lot of DLC characters, and I think ARMS was good. It's just, I mean, it wasn't enough to sustain your interest for very long.
It felt like it needed a sequel. Like that feels like a game where it's like a sequel would have really like done a lot for it. And ARMS is like a cool game, but it's like, oh man, imagine if they were able to do like an ARMS 2 and like really expand more of the concepts that they were kind of doing. I love the character designs. The character designs in this game are awesome. Like there's like the cop with the dog. What was it, like Bark and Ruff or something? Which is that's a great character design. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's like ARMS always felt like I always get confused when people hate on it. It's like, it's not a bad game, guys. It's interesting what it was doing. Like especially like this is the Mario Kart team, so it's like weird to have them do like basically kind of a pseudo fighting game. And yeah, like you said, Bench, it just didn't have the legs. Damn it. I did the fucking pun, whatever. And then the very next month we got Splatoon 2, and this is what I made about this year for games, by the way. For Nintendo, it was effectively like every month they had something, which is pretty insane. But yeah, 2017, insane year for Nintendo. But Splatoon 2, I'm not a Splatoon guy. I haven't played a Splatoon game, so I don't know if you guys have much to say about this one.
Splatoon 2 is probably the one I played the most, even if I haven't played many of them. But I mean, it was still just fun to have a game around the summertime it was just fun. I mean, I played more of I played the DLC, which in the story mode more than I did the multiplayer, which were good.
Yeah, what was it, like Octo expansion? I heard that was really good. Listen. Oh, Jed, did you have something, or is that it?
Oh no, but like I played the other Splatoon on the Switch, but it was interesting because I played 1 and 3, but I skipped this one, and I've only heard good things. And I mean, the craze for this game always astonished me, especially in Japan, with how crazy like the competitive fan base is there.
To kind of speed through more of these games, because there's a lot of games we got to go over. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This game is super cool, just like conceptually that they were able to do a crossover like this. But I never got around to it. But I do know like a lot of people are really into it.
It's a good game. Yeah.
And then Pokken Tournament DX, kind of a port from Pokken.
I do it.
I would love this game because like I love Tekken and I love Pokemon. It's like I never got around to it, which is weird.
It's a very fun game. Yeah.
And then Fire Emblem Warriors, which famously also came out on new 3DS, and that version is terrible. Not much to say there. It's just a Warriors game, but with Fire Emblem. But then October 27th, 2017.
Whoa.
What?
We missed one.
What did I miss? I'm going
September 28th, 2017. Golf Story.
Oh,
My number 2 game
Sorry,
on the
it's
Switch
just,
Top 10.
the list I'm using only has Nintendo published. That's why. Sorry. Golf Story number 2, Bob. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, I love this game.
Talk about Golf Story. Talk about it.
This is what I would say is one of the indie games that helped carry the Switch through its kind of launch window. Not to say that like the launch window was bad, but like I think for a lot of people it was okay. Breath of the Wild, and then wait for Super Mario Odyssey later in the year. So games like Snipperclips, games like ARMS, games like Golf Story really helped kind of like fill in like, oh, I have this brand new machine. What am I going to play? And for me, Golf Story is just like, it was like a return to the classic Mario sports RPGs of like the Game Boy era. And I think that's why it holds like such a special place in my heart, because I love those games to death, whether it was tennis, golf, or even like
weird, and I love them.
Yeah, I mean, like the Camelot RPG games were so good, and you get kind of that old school vibe in this game. It's just a simple story of a guy who just wants to be the champion, and he kind of gets help from a coach, and it's got a lot of comedic flair. The story isn't like anything world beating, but it's the 3-click golf. So you got the bar, and you click it once to start it, you click it once for power, and then you click it again at the end for accuracy. And it's a very simple game, but it just is so well done in its story and in its upgrades. And I think for me, it just hits such a nostalgia of those sports RPGs that it's one of the games I think about the most from the Switch era. And I mean, we'll just talk about it because we're definitely not talking about it when it comes out. But Sports Story was definitely just like just a complete miss. I mean, just missing what made the first game special.
A lot of drama around that game too.
Like development hell, some infighting, like a mutiny almost within the team itself. So I was super disappointed in that. Easily one of the most like disappointing sequels of all time.
I'll never forget when that game came out, and like everyone was like, "Holy shit, it's out!" Because literally they just shadow dropped it.
Yep.
And then I saw people play it, and the first 2 levels, it was like hourly updates from like people, and it's like, "Oh, this seems pretty cool. It's great." And then by like the 3rd or 4th like hour, everyone's like, "This is horrible."
Yeah. It just unfortunately missed the mark. So yeah, that's a bummer. But yeah, Golf Story will always hold a special place in my heart.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I mean, I've always been interested in Golf Story. It looks like a cool game, but there's so many indie games. It's like kind of hard to find the time for each one of them. Yeah, shout out to Golf Story, seriously. Big shout outs to October 27th, 2017. Same day, if you guys remember, as Assassin's Creed Origins and Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. I don't know why they released Wolfenstein 2 on that day. They were really stupid for that. Super Mario Odyssey. Obviously, one of the biggest Switch games of all time. Is this, if I remember correctly, I'm going to pull up my list. It's my number 2. I really love this game a lot.
Oh, it's my number 1.
Oh, hell yeah, Jet. Yeah, these 2 posers.
Well, hold on. It's my number 7.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
It's not on my list.
I didn't know you were a Mario Odyssey fan, Bob.
Yeah. I love Odyssey. I never went back and did like the moons and everything, but oh yeah, no. I mean, this game is incredible.
I mean, I was there too, so I mean, I have stuff to say as well, but it's not on my list.
Talk about it first, Bench. Get it out of the way.
I mean, I really liked Odyssey. I mean, another game that I have a core memory with. is like I got Odyssey on Switch, like the digital release, and I played it during my first period class in 7th grade. So that was just really cool. Like I sped through my work, and my teacher, who was a coach, so he really didn't care, let me
Of
play
course.
through play Odyssey in class. And I mean, that was just fun. Like Odyssey is pure fun. It's I won't get super negative on it because I don't like at the time like I really loved it, but as I look back on it, I noticed some things I weren't as big a fan on. But I mean, I still really loved it. Like grew up on Mario, of course I was gonna love it.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey is an interesting one because I feel like I don't want to say revisionist, but I think a lot of people kind of look back on it in different ways. But I mean, listen, I look back on it and it's pure positive. I mean, this is the first game I actually got with my Switch in 2018. And I kind of wanted to mention this when it came up, but I might as well mention it now. I got my Switch for Smash Brothers because I was so excited for Ultimate. So I basically bought the Switch and I got it with Mario Odyssey. It was like a bundle. And I played the shit out of Odyssey. I'll never forget. Like I got that game and I played until it was like one of the first only experiences in my life where I played it for so long that the battery on my controller ran out and I was genuinely so depressed that I had to stop playing it. Like I had to sit there waiting for my stupid controller to charge with the Joy-Cons like 2-hour battery life, and I'm like, I need to play more of this game now. I got obsessed with it. It is such a rewarding game. It feels like every second you're doing something cool, you're doing something interesting. The world is so reactive. There's just something hiding behind every corner. I love just walking around that game. It is, to me, like arguably one of the best controlling games of all time, just from pure control standpoint. Like I don't really think many other games feel as good as Mario Odyssey. It's not my favorite Mario game, but even then, it's like I would argue some days it kind of is. And I want to replay it so badly and actually get all the moons and go crazy for it. But, it's like, it's always the time thing. You always got to think about that. But to me, Mario Odyssey is a genuinely extremely special game. I kind of view it as like one of my favorite first playthroughs of all time, where I played that game for the first time and I was just so blown away every second and was doing something crazy and cool every single second that I just couldn't believe. Like, I always think back to Greg Miller. It was his game of the year that year, and he kind of said something that really stuck with me, where he basically said like, "Oh, like I loved Horizon, but I had issues with Horizon. I loved Breath of the Wild, but like there were moments I wasn't having fun with these games that he loves." But then when he talks about Odyssey, it's like the reason it's my game of the year is because like I never didn't have a smile on my face when playing that game, and it's like that's kind of how I feel, where it's like that is a game that I just am constantly happy whenever I even think about it. So yeah, shout out to Mario Odyssey. I obviously love it. And Jet, apparently you love it more than me. You had to one up me. So I gotta hear about this.
Yes, exactly. One up, just like the real Mario style. So yeah, with Mario Odyssey, oh my god. I think first of all, the way they marketed this game was incredible. Where in the Switch presentation, they show it off, and it's like, all right, Mario is in this Brooklyn style city and just running around these areas. This looks cool. And then in the E3 direct, it's like, what? He can transform into stuff. That's cool. And then when you actually
Yeah.
play it, you're like, oh my god, there's so much more in this game than they even showed. And man, this is like it is an incredible this is like one of my all-time favorite games ever, because it's like when you play it for the first time, it's an immersive, like it feels like an experience to me. And that's what this game is, where they just decided let's make Mario and Cappy, let's make them really blend with the world by giving them alternate outfits as well. And sometimes going 2D 3D was also an amazing mechanic. And then my favorite part was probably when you got to wait, I know this game is old, but can we say like spoilers, like kind of like, I guess it was like post game-ish.
It's been 8 years, yeah.
Yeah,
Post-game.
yeah, the Mario 64 part where you can get the Mario 64 outfit.
Oh my god, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I love retro outfits in games. There's like, let me just play around as like 64 Mario.
Yeah.
And in post game Astrobot, that's all I'm rocking.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, it's so cool. Man, no, dude, Mario Odyssey. Do you guys remember when like every direct after this game came out, we would be like, "This is when we get Mario Odyssey DLC. This is when we get New Kingdoms." So it's like they never did it. They did Luigi's Balloon World, which that was fun. I actually really enjoyed that. But then people started cheating, and it was like, okay, well, it's not as fun anymore. Bob, I want to get your thoughts. What number 7 for you? How you feel about Mario Odyssey?
Yeah, no, I think it's again, this was part of the Renaissance where weirdly enough, this is my first Mario platformer.
Damn. You're like
Yeah, because
30? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
yeah, I'm 28. And I was let's see, 2019, so I was what is that, 6 years ago? So I was 22 when I played my first
Funny.
Mario platformer, but like 3D Mario platformer, I should say, because like really, I guess I could have played Sunshine or Galaxy. I just never did. And like I knew good things about it. I was like, okay, I mean, we'll see what happens. And I'm going through it, and I'm just like, wow, this really like takes me back to like being a kid and like just, but like having like an older perspective and just like appreciation of the of just like the game
Childlike joy.
design. Well, no, just like being able to be old enough to understand like this is really hard, like to
It's
make
really
a game.
well made, yeah.
Yeah, this is really hard to make a game this good. And it was one of the few games that like actually runs super well, like pretty much a locked 60.
Yeah, insane.
On the Switch hardware. And which comes into play later in the Switch life cycle, but I just couldn't get over how great all the different worlds were. Like it kept you invested, all the different abilities, all the just different features and mini games they kept throwing at you. But I apologize because I was kind of busy there for a second. But did we talk about the actual like New Donk City like?
No, not
throwback
yet.
level? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, a little bit, but like not like fully. Yeah.
Jump Up
'Cause-
Superstar.
Yeah, Jump Up Superstar. Like when I hit that, I'm like, wow, this
Imagine.
is a video game. Yeah, it just playing through that with the song, with climbing the tower. I was like, I like almost teared up to the point where it's like, this is such a beautiful culmination of this franchise that I have no history with, but I could still like respect and really appreciate it. So yeah, just a big fan of Odyssey.
Yeah, seriously, Odyssey is something special. I think it's one of those games that does come once a generation of like what it was able to do. It just gets you excited. It gets you so happy that like, yeah, I love video games. Moving into the last game released on December 1st, 2017, the year of Christ. The year of Christ, the month of Christ. December 1st, 2017. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I don't really have much history with this, but Bench, I know you really like this game.
Yeah. I didn't play it in 2018. I didn't go through all the Xenoblade games until 2020. Well, no, 2022. But I do think like Xenoblade 2 is still really good. And I think it deserves a lot of praise, even if it is like the weakest of that trilogy. But I do think just the story and characters, it was Monolith getting their hands on new hardware. And I mean, they were just super important this entire generation. I'll talk more later when we get to 3. But I mean, 2 is still really good. Its combat's great. It was definitely just a big departure from 1. But I mean, it's still just very enjoyable. And on top of that, I mean, later next year, so we don't have to like loop back around it and you won't talk about it. I mean, the DLC for 2 is also just very good with Torna.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't going to get brought up in 2019, 2018. So
No, I get it. Go ahead and talk about it now. That's fair.
Torna is definitely like that's first
like
of Monolith.
Game, right?
It's pretty much a whole new game. It's the first of Monolith kind of adding something to one of their games that's now just become a staple with every game they release. That it's going to have like a 10 to 20 hour piece of content added onto it whenever after it releases. And I think it's just Torna's very good, and it's like prequel that just sets up everything in a tragic way. It just the package together is just very memorable and very enjoyable, even if Rex's design is bad.
Dude, okay, I'm glad we agreed there because it looks dumb. Like, what are those pants?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, then he grows up, and you can say different things there.
I will say this about Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It was like a pretty wowing moment when we saw like the trailers. And it's like, damn, it looks like from a like world design standpoint really incredible.
Yeah,
especially
and
with like
I
the giant creatures and shit. It's like, oh wow, they're doing like the Switches seems to be way stronger than the Wii U, and it was like slightly stronger.
hmm
But yeah, no, I mean, like you mentioned it, Monolith, like they did a lot for the Switch in general. Like they helped design Breath of the Wild, kind of that open world. And it's like, yeah, that's a pretty important job, and Nintendo really let them kind of go into their own this generation. So shout out to them.
I mean, if they probably have the most output for a studio in the generation, they've put out 4 games with 2 DLC packs that are like 20 hours long.
Yeah, insane. Very good workflow over there.
hmm
Moving into 2018, shout outs to 2017. I mean, I'll say right now, like I feel like it's kind of hard to beat that for like one of the best Switch year. I'd probably put it as the best Switch year. I mean, if you have a 3D Mario and a 3D Zelda coming out the same year, that's pretty unreal. Like it's pretty rare that they both come out the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard to have like a console with that insane quality of like your first year. You have both those.
Yep, 100%. They wanted to make a statement. They were like, "Yeah, we're doing something big here with the Switch. We want you guys to stay around." Moving into 2018, Kirby Star Allies is the first big release from Nintendo this year. Not the biggest of this game. This game's kind of whatever. Not much
I
to
played
say.
it. I played it. I don't remember anything of it.
Yeah, there's a better Kirby game that comes up later.
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. It's nice to have all the DLC there. And then April 20th, 2018. This is a funny one. Nintendo Labo. Did you guys mess around with Labo at all?
I forgot about that.
I never had the chance.
It was so expensive. I was like, I can't do this. It was like they had the Toy-Con variety kit, the Robo kit, and it's like this is so cool from like a conceptual standpoint of like basically cardboard and like you kind of build it yourself and do that. But what happens is that the games are so like shallow. It's like who cares at the end of the day? I just found Labo really funny. It's like yeah, it kind of showed. It's like Nintendo still had a weird side to them doing something like that. We got a Tropical Freeze Pour, Sushi Striker, whatever. Then Mario Tennis Aces, the first Mario sports game on Switch, and the first disappointment for a lot of people. I'm not a Mario sports guy. Bob, are you a Mario sports guy at all?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we
Was
talked
Tennis
about it
Aces
earlier,
fun?
but yeah.
Was that one for you?
That was also a disappointment. Spoiler alert: none of the sports games for the Switch were good.
There's one
No.
in particular I really need to know your thoughts on.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, no, I mean, Aces honestly was like probably the least offensive. If I remember correctly.
Content devoid at launch, really. That's it.
Yeah, there just wasn't a lot going for it, but really, what bothered me about all of them was just like the lack of story mode, or like really like
Anything.
what people like really played them for.
I feel like there was a lack of love in these games where they're just
Yeah.
felt unfinished at launch.
Yep.
100%. It's not on this list, but Octopath Traveler came out in early July. Bench, did you play Octopath 1?
I've only played a couple hours of each, unfortunately. It's like I want to play them, but also they're so long, and it's like it's hard to fit in. But yeah, I wish I'd played more.
Yeah, I played Octopath Traveler is like the game I wish I could beat, but like it is a really beautiful game, and I love so much of what it was doing. It was actually one of the first games I caught on Switch as well, funnily enough. It's just like, man, it is so grindy. It is a thing where like you have 8 different characters, and like you can't just run like a party of 4 and like, oh, everyone else gets like background XP, so like when you need to use them, they're ready. No, they don't get XP. You have to actually use them to get XP. So I'm sitting there like really invested in like my 4 character stories. And it's like, oh shit, I gotta switch to like the merchant girl. So I'm like, I gotta find somewhere to grind, and grinding is boring because there's not like an easy place to grind in that game. And it just leads to being bloated for the sake of being bloated. And it's a traditional JRPG. It's way too traditional. Guys, it's 2018. We don't need to do random encounters. Like, it's getting ridiculous. Especially with Octopath 2. It's like, you still are doing random encounters? Still? So yeah, Octopath. I wish it was better. But I do like a lot of what it was doing. And then we got another Nintendo Labo kit. Then, a little bit of a break into Super Mario Party in 2018, October 5th. This game
Oh boy.
sucks. This is a bad one.
Boo.
I bought this thinking this would be, a fun Mario Party because I haven't played it in a while. I skipped the Wii U one. The last one I enjoyed was Mario Party 8 on the Wii, and then I thought, okay, yeah, I'll play this with my siblings, with friends. I got bored of it.
Dude, it was like we got tricked when this game was revealed because this was like I remember like the 2018 E3 and everyone was like Mario Party's back and it's like, oh, it's an actual board. We're not doing the stupid car again. And then you play the game and it's like this is the most devoid Mario Party ever. There's like nothing to do. And like they have like a shit ton of modes, but like none of them are fun.
But it's
and then
the
the
Mario
actual
Party. It's the one I played the most.
Oh really?
Funnily enough, yeah, it's the one on Switch or in general I played the most. So I got my time out of it, even if it is, like y'all have said, very bland.
100%.
There's Mario Party on my list, but we'll get to it much later.
Oh, we'll get to it. Don't worry. The Mario Party's definitely got better from here, but like Super was like, man, you guys did not even try here.
And they did
And then-
patch in multiplayer at one point randomly.
It was like 3 years after it came out, where it's like nobody cares anymore. Ah, God bless you, Nintendo. And then finally, November 16th, 2018, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. It is interesting, Bob. You said you didn't get your Switch until the Sword and Shield. This one was like an easy skip for you. Like you were like, I don't need a Switch still.
It wasn't that it was a skip. It was just I remember watching the gameplay. I'm like, oh, they just Pokemon Go-ified Gen 1. Yeah, I've played Gen 1 and this like it wasn't enough for me to get the Switch, but ironically, when I did go and play it, I'm like, actually, this game is like not as offensive as I thought it would be. But
horrible, but you could tell it was kind of made in response to Pokemon Go in a lot of ways.
Oh, 100%. But like, and honestly, like it's arguably the best graphics, especially best 3D graphics. Maybe not overall because Gen 5 is still really good, but like best 3D graphics without a doubt. It looked really good, and yeah, it just the Pokemon Go effects kind of killed it a little bit, but like still a very competent Pokemon game.
Yeah, the strat for this was genius of like getting all the casual Pokemon players that have not played like too many console games to get them to buy a Switch and buy a Pokemon Let's Go. Yeah,
it also came with that Pokeball Go Plus, where you could basically use that to capture Pokemon. And I was like, what is this? I'm not the biggest fan of this game personally, but I know a lot of people like it. Bench, were you into this one?
No, just did nothing for me.
Nice. Okay. You're on my side then. But then, December 7th, 2018, my number one Switch game. This is number one for me with a bullet.
Oh, number two for me. I think ours are flipped.
Oh, wow. That's actually funny.
It's number 3 for me.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Bob, wait, is it on Bob's list?
Number 10. Just barely made it.
Okay, it's on the list at least. It's on the list. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, obviously. A game that doesn't need any introduction. I mentioned earlier, this is the game that got me to buy the Switch, and God, I love this game so much. If you guys remember the hype cycle of this game, it was electric. It was like every week. I remember like scouring like the r/Smash Brothers. Like there would be like 4chan leaks, and like there was the infamous Grinch leak, which that's a story in and of itself for another day. But so much hype just around this title and what they were doing. I'll never forget when watching that Everyone Is Here trailer. And I was thinking, like, I just want Snake. I just want Snake back. That's literally all I wanted. And, like, in the middle of it, they kind of made a big deal, like, Snake. And then, like, Everyone Is Here. They show Pichu, which is like, what? You're going that far back into the well? Incredible. Absolutely electric. And then just the new characters. King K. Rool, Simon and Richter. Like, the hype cycle alone is one of my favorite Switch games. And then the game comes out, and it's one of my favorite Switch games, if not my favorite. I love everything Smash Ultimate kind of just accomplishes as just a fan of this franchise. I love Smash Brothers. It's probably my favorite Nintendo franchise, at least right next to 3D Mario, because it just feels like everything. It feels like everything that I love about Nintendo. It is a celebration of not just Nintendo, just gaming as a whole. The amount of modes, the amount of love and care in the menus, how much time and effort Sakurai, you can definitely tell, puts into this franchise and like every new entry. It's a very special game to me. And listen, I don't care what anyone says. I'm a World of Light defender. I fucking love World of
Yep.
Light.
Oh, I
World
thought
of
it was
Light is-
great.
Dude, people hate on World of Light. That shit is fun. It is so
Yeah.
much fun.
Oh, it was a fun time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
I mean,
completed
I
that.
think-
I got all the spirits, man. I got everything. I did
Nice.
so many hours into that game.
I think like this game defines the Switch because for even
Yeah.
so much of the Switch, it was around until 2021, like late 2021. Smash was in the news cycle constantly with its DLC. Just everything about the character reveals, like the people, everyone showed up. Either pre-launch when it launched, and then throughout the post-launch, and even with the DLC, they didn't miss. They got everyone you wanted and more.
There was one miss.
What?
There was one DLC miss.
What
Master
was
Chief.
it?
It
Oh,
was
and-
it was when they did the whole Fighters Pass 1, and all of them were third-party characters, and you ended with a Fire Emblem character.
Yeah, but I was happy with that because I got Three Houses music in the game. So
Love that. I love Three Houses, but it's like, come on, you can't do 4 third parties and then end with Fire Emblem. But whatever. Anyways, but like you said, everything else was so hype.
just
Yeah.
such like, and the Sakurai presents with it. Just everything about a character was an event, and we got everyone. Like literally, I mean, we got everyone that was from previous Smash games, and like this reveal of Sora actually being the main requested one, and they got it done. And then Sephiroth and the reveal at the Game Awards, that trailer,
Oh
just
my
everything about Ultimate was so good. Just it's constantly thinking about Ultimate and playing it. Easily the most played game I have on Switch. It's just it never gets old. And if they just released a deluxe edition for the next 50 years and added more, I think I'd be happy.
It feels so good to play. It's like I've played every
Yep.
Smash game, and like by far and away, it's the best feeling one because everything just
Yeah.
feels right about it.
Playing,
I
if
feel
you
it.
say Melee, you're just like a nostalgia person.
Melee's
Mhm.
awesome, but it's also like,
Yep.
dude, Ultimate just like everything flows
It's
so much
better.
better, and it's way easier for new people to get into Ultimate.
Oh yeah.
Like it works.
Yeah.
All the
And-
stages in Ultimate are so cool. And
Oh
the
my
fact
god!
just
Stage
Oh, yeah.
Morph, and like you can play like
Mhm.
super competitive or super like crazy psychotic, and like
it is not
it
a party
allows
game.
all types of play.
It is a fighting game.
It's a fighting game that allows you to play it like a party game, which is
Yeah.
awesome. But Ja, I want to get your thoughts on Smash Ultimate.
Oh man, I've got so many because like there's like a solid year where my university housemates were like playing this, and I'd be spending a fair bit of time with them too. So yeah, I enjoyed this game a ton. Like from when the game was initially revealed, when like I remember that moment in the direct when I was watching. It's like where I can't remember who it was, but like when he said, "I'll turn it over to someone I think you know," and then they showed the Smash logo, and I'm like,
with the logo, oh fuck yeah!
and then they were gonna show Sakurai. I'm like, oh my god, let's go! Yeah, and I think that this is I think the only game where I watched so many reaction videos just to see people
Yeah.
screaming, and I don't think anything like even for future Smash games. I think it's gonna be hard to top Joker from Persona 5. The way they did that trailer, turning the lights off of the game was incredible.
Yeah, no, it's hard to deny. It's like something really special about that game and what it was able to do. Bob, do you have anything you wanted to add on top of that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely remember that by this point I was starting to pay attention to like Nintendo Directs just because I was starting to get more and more into like kind of the weeds of video game news. And I want to say I don't know if they were doing it by this point. Maybe they were. No, they weren't. But either way, I was watching the direct and was like, "Oh wow, Splatoon, cool!" And then
Yeah,
like
that reveal.
that
Oh, yeah.
reveal of the logo in the eye, and then it's like all of them. Like that's like the canon. Like everyone reacts to that video kind of thing.
It's so good. That's the thing. The marketing of Smash is so good.
And for me, like I was never really a Smash guy. I've played a couple of them, but like it was never really my jam. I was never really that good at it. But because my friends were getting it, you know, I knew I needed to pick it up. And so I was like, okay, you know, I'll get this. and played through World of Light. That was great. And then it was really just the memories of like playing with your friends like every night. It's like start up the lobby, okay, everyone get in here. All right, like who's like the main
lobby system. Oh man.
Yeah, oh, so clunky.
But it worked.
And then just going through it, I'll never forget. I really became a Richter main.
Oh yeah,
when it first when it first came out, and one of my buddies was like, way good. He's been playing them for forever. And I was over at a friend's house, and I was like, I don't have my Pro Controller. Like, really, the only thing I can do is use my Joy-Con sideways, because like it didn't feel good to play it handheld mode. I 3-stocked this man with a single Joy-Con. He will never hear the end of it to this day. And so it's like shit like that, where it's like, yeah, man, this game's got the stuff.
It's special, man. It's like every time you play, you get like a cool new experience, a cool new story. It's so addicting to like just running on rank. It's like, let me just fuck around in Elite Smash, see what I can do. I guess, I mean, like you mentioned Richter main. You guys got a main character? Like I was a Lucina and Snake main. Those were my two.
Oh, Link, and then when the DLC came out, Joker and Sora.
Oh hell yeah!
I enjoy Sephiroth and Pyra and Mithra the most to play, but I'm the best at Mario.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I
Dude,
think
Which I don't like because it's basic.
Yeah.
I think Richter. I also really liked Byleth in the DLC. I thought he was actually really good.
Yeah, he was fun.
And then I did actually play a little bit of Ganondorf for some reason. Like I was kind of
yeah,
I love Ganondorf. He's so garbage, but I love him.
And then just for like shits and giggles, I would play as what the heck is his name? Captain Falcon. Just because if you ever landed a Falcon, like you would tease it a million times, and then if you ever actually landed a Falcon punch, it was just the funniest thing in the world.
Dude, that's what's so good about Smash. It's just, I mean, you guys got the stories of like, hey, wait, that motherfucker has 3 stocks still, and then just getting ganged up on. It's like, it's a special franchise, and Ultimate definitely, without question, is the best entry in that franchise. But yeah, 2018 though, much weaker year, I'd say. It was very much a year that they kind of hedged a lot of their bets at Nintendo with Smash Brothers. But, you know, he still had some cool highlights. It's just, you could definitely tell, like, they really blew their load in 2017. And it's like, okay, we'll have Smash kind of carry us for 2018 along with Mario Party.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad the Mario Party sucked. Moving into 2019, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, not much to say there. It's just a crappy game. Yoshi's Crafted World. I only played the demo to this, and all I'll say is this game sucks. It was so fucking boring. That's all I have to say. I'm so disappointed because I actually really love Yoshi's Island, but Crafted World is just not a good game.
Wait, what month are we in?
2019 in March.
Yeah, what month? March? Okay. So then, probably didn't pick up on this one. There was actually a pretty big game to come out on
February. Oh, I forgot. Okay. It doesn't have the published games. I don't, dude. This list. Yeah. God bless you, Jack. This is the list he sent me. February Direct gave me one of my games on the list.
Oh, it's on your okay. All right.
Yeah, number 7 on my list. Well, okay, maybe we're talking about different games. We'll see. Tetris 99.
I mean, it's 11, but I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh, okay. Tetris 99 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of the games I play the most on Switch, actually. To this day, I still play Tetris 99. I still just load up a lobby and just like kind of fuck around a little bit. It's just takes a game I love with Tetris and just says, hey, fuck it, let's make it a battle royale. And it's so addicting to just like see how far you can get. I won once. It is really hard to win because Tetris players are really good at Tetris. That time I win is still like embroiled in my memory of like one of my favorite gaming moments because it is that thing of like, it's like, oh, because you won, you can now play in the Invictus, like the winners. It's like, nope, I'm never playing in that, but at least I can show I did it. So it's like, that's a cool feeling. But yeah, Tetris 99, it's still, again, and they still do events for it. Like, it is pretty big. They kind of weirdly supported it like a live service, and they added a bunch of modes like marathon mode, team battle. A lot of cool shit with Tetris 99. Awesome game. Love it.
And it just came out of nowhere, and everyone's like, what? But then once you played it, it pretty much did shadow drop. And when, one sec. Sorry,
That was
I had to sneeze.
Oh, okay.
Bless you.
I guess I'm allergic to talking about this game, but no, it just it came out of nowhere, and I think like it's also important to remember around this time, like Fortnite was taking off, PUBG was hot, like battle royales. I think by this point Apex Legends was even out, or it was close to coming out, and so battle royales were very much in, and this was kind of the first game since those to be like, we can do something with this, and easily. Probably my most played Tetris game, because like I've just played Tetris here and there on whatever growing up, but like it wasn't until '99 where I really just sat down and just grinded.
Yeah, it's an addicting game. It's such an easy game to like pick up and play and just have a good time with. But yeah, it's on my list. It's very high. Moving into, hang on, I missed the list. Where did it go? Okay, there it is. We get to the if you guys remember in April, the VR kit for Nintendo Labo.
Oh yeah.
They did like they added modes to a lot of the games. So like Smash Ultimate had one, which was just like you can watch fights in VR. It's like why? And then Breath of Wild, I think you could play the whole game in VR.
Yep.
And honestly, I can't think of a more hellish experience. And then Mario Odyssey, I did like collecting musical instruments, which was weird. But yeah, VR kit, God bless it, it was weird. But then June 28th, we got the next big release, Super Mario Maker 2.
Oh hell yeah! Oh, I enjoyed this one.
Mario Maker 2, I mean, there's a lot to say. I'll just say, I think while it does some things worse than Mario Maker 1, especially in the case of like making levels and getting rid of amiibo costumes, it's kind of hard to deny. Like, it's a infinite Mario game. You just have a Mario game that's like, yeah, this is infinite content forever, and it's like, it's such an easy game to go back to. It's like, yeah, I'll just fuck around and play some levels, but it didn't make my list. But I will say I was like one that like I considered because like, yeah, I do really like this game.
Oh no, same. It's an honorable mention for me as well. Where it's Mario Maker 2. It's just a very easy game to like to really kind of appreciate like people's creativity with some levels where they make some like some people made some music levels based on like their favorite tracks from like movies or games, and I always found those cool. I like some automatic Mario ones as well. Yeah, it was a fun time.
And then with Mario Maker 2, we move into July. This is a weird one. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Nintendo publishing that, which I just thought was really funny. But then the big release for Nintendo this month was July 26th, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Game on my list. It is at number 6.
It's 10 for me.
Also number 6.
Oh, wait, Bop? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Big
Three Houses guy.
That's my fucking guy, dude. I love Three Houses. This was a game where I remember like I was not into Fire Emblem at all. And then I played Awakening the month before, which is still the Fire Emblem game I like the most. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait for Three Houses. And I played it, and I, no joke, did all 4 routes. I played it for like over 100 hours. I was obsessed. And I just think like that story really works for me. And also, it's just top tier strategy gameplay, which is usually the case for Fire Emblem. But it has that with just a really intriguing narrative with a lot of like morally gray stuff and characters that are just really fun, loving, and interesting. And you just like talking to everyone. It works for me so much. It's like it's a game I always think about. Like I need to play that DLC one of these days because I just want to be in that world again. Because I do really care about like all those characters, that world, those routes, and dude, the fucking music. It's still
it's so good.
It's so maddening to me that God Shattering Star wasn't added to Smash because that song is still one I blast on repeat all the time. But yeah, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, phenomenal game.
Yeah, I own it, but I still need to play it. And I feel like the way you guys are talking about it makes me think I'll enjoy it.
You're a Persona guy. You'd love it.
Oh,
yeah, that is true. Yeah, because half the game is literally just going around the school and social bonding like with your team to like pretty much like level up the squad. Yeah, no, for me, it definitely. I'll never forget when I picked up this game because my buddy, we were playing a bunch of I think one of the latest like NASCAR games had dropped, and he was just like, Ben, you are the only person I know to go from NASCAR Heat 5 to Fire Emblem Three Houses in like the same gaming session. Like that is not a Venn diagram. Those are two circles. And so I just always think about that quote. But yeah, I think at the same time, Three Houses came out at a great time because it was cashing in on like end season Game of Thrones, where because that's how it got me. I like the pitch I was sold on was like Harry Potter style, kind of like School and Houses, but more of like a Game of Thrones style story. And I totally think it lives up to those comparisons, like in its own way. And yeah, the strategy itself was so good. I genuinely had no idea what was happening in the story, like in a sense that like I didn't know what was happening next, and like I wanted to complete all these battles to do the next thing. I wanted to go around the campus and like do everything I could. It just like unlocked a part of my brain that just I never really like thought would kind of be into these kind of games, but it came and swept me away. And yeah, same with you, Wolf. I kind of just did the one path and I was like, oh, I need to play the other ones now. I did not realize I needed to play the other ones now. Okay.
It was a thing where I did the 3 paths, like kind of like the basic way. I was like,
Right.
okay, I'm done. I did them. And then I'm like, there is a 4th one.
Yeah.
I should do that. It's so addicting, man.
Yep.
And then Bench, you had a number 10.
Yeah, I had it at number 10.
You got anything more to say that we haven't already talked about with this game?
I mean, no, I've only done one of the routes, but I mean, it's just a very good game.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, shout out to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Love that game. It's my
I'm in
game
the
of the year
mood
that year.
for Fire Emblem. Let's hope we hear some more soon.
Oh yeah, I mean this will immediately be outdated. I do think we're gonna get Fire Emblem very soon. And then also in August we had Astral Chain. I never got around. I played a little bit of this, but it was that thing of I don't know. You guys feel but with a character action game, I can't play it at 30 FPS. I just can't. It just doesn't work for me. Like, I'm usually not a frame rate snob, but for character action, it's like no, that's the one thing where it's like I need 60. So I didn't play around with this one too much, but I've heard a lot of good things and people really love this game. And then moving into September, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I love this game. This is just 2D Zelda, like kind of at its best in my opinion. It takes a lot of that like original game and like does it in a really cute art style that's super fun. I love the toy effect. I know a lot of people are kind of mixed on it. It's like, no, this works for me. And just as a gameplay game, like it's just kind of fun to like go through Zelda dungeons and get items and kind of explore the world. It's a kind of short and condensed Zelda experience, which I really appreciate. And it really works for me. I love Link's Awakening. I don't know if any of y'all have actually played it.
Link's Awakening is consistently at the top of my like need to get to list, where I'm like, God, it just looks so good, and it just seems like a good entry point to one of the earlier Zelda games, and I just need to commit to it at some point.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. I think you'd really dig it. And also on the same day as Link's Awakening, I don't know if you guys remember this, the Switch Lite came out the same day.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get a Switch Lite because I already had a Switch, but I've heard like, dude, the form factor, like I've held one, it's like it feels good to hold. Like it genuinely, like I kind of nailed it. Did any of you get a Switch Lite? Because like I know it's like kind of a hard ask because it was like $200, I think.
Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. Go.
No, I was gonna say I didn't get it for myself, but like my sister and I, she like we got it for her best friend basically, and like it's very much the form factor. It's perfect for like it feels more portable than the Switch already is.
I remember when rumors about it were coming out, and we were like, they would never do a Switch that doesn't switch. That's the whole name. And then when it was like revealed, it was like, oh wait, this is Nintendo. Like we should always expect this out of them.
And it sold like hotcakes.
Oh,
but yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I didn't get one. I just was like, yeah, what this is clearly not for my target demographic.
Yeah. Big hands, man. Moving into October 18th, we got Ring Fit Adventure. I actually played a good amount of this game. It's a great fitness game, like genuinely. They kind of RPG-ify a lot of the fitness aspects. And it's one that's like, the hard part about fitness games, man, it's so hard to stick to them. But like when I played, it's like, dude, this is sick. Like I would like to kind of like make this a part of my daily regimen. But
It's also a
only
genuinely hard game. Like
Dude,
I'm
it
like.
is oh, man.
Like I used it for a time like as a substitute for the gym, and I'm like, how is this stupid plastic circle kicking my ass right now?
It's so long. Like it's like I have never met someone who beat that game, which is fascinating.
Yeah, I've gotten close, but I never beat it.
Next up on the list, Luigi's Mansion 3, right on
Yeah.
Halloween. To this day, I don't. Is it on anyone's list? Because they didn't make mine.
It did not make mine.
Nope.
I still haven't finished it, but I want to go back to it. Yeah.
I would say this about Luigi's Mansion 3: it is the best looking game on Switch, at least from an animation standpoint. And there's definitely arguments for other things, but like the way everything like kind of moves and like squashes and stretches, it's like, dude, next level games is next level when it comes to that shit. And they really nailed like just the aesthetic of Luigi's Mansion. I still don't like the ghost designs. I wish they went back to Luigi's Mansion 1 ghost designs because like I don't like how goofy they are in 3. But outside of that, it's like this is just a really well made puzzle game. Like just a fun, and also a game that sold way better than you would ever think. Because like I think it sold like 14 million or something. It's like, damn, that sold better than most PlayStation exclusive games. But yeah, no, I love Luigi's Mansion 3. I will say though, it isn't. I still like the first one more, just personally, but it does work for me. Like 3 is like, yeah, this is good. There was that part where you had to backtrack. That was absolute dog shit though. So I'm still mad about that. But yeah, what do you guys think about this game?
I think it's really good. It's not enough to make the top 10 for me.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, there's a lot of games. If that's it about Luigi's Mansion 3, though, we can move into Bop and Bench. You guys can argue about this one.
Oh no, I was
I'm not
dreading this moment.
I'm
It
not
is number 8. It is number 9.
not invested enough in this game to care enough to argue. Pokemon Sword and Shield, the game that got Bob to buy a Switch, November 15th, 2019. I mean, listen, I'll say this. I don't really care for this game, but hey, I like the DLC. I'll say that. I really like the DLC, but outside of that, it's like, I don't got much to say. You two got a lot to say. I'll let you do that.
I mean, I just really enjoyed this game. I've completed all of the Pokédexes for the base game and the DLC. So, I mean, I was sold on this game. I always enjoyed what I saw through pre-launch. I mean, just going into it, I was hyped, and it lived up to the hype for me. I played easily like 100 plus hours of this game. I think it's one of, Bob, you're going to have a heart attack when I say this, but I think it's one of the best looking Pokemon games.
I don't necessarily disagree with that.
I like the art style. I loved the starters. I love the region. And the DLC just adds to both of those in ways that I enjoy. So just everything this game does, I'm a big fan of.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Bench, I'm happy you have your own opinion. And I think so. The funny thing about me waiting for Sword and Shield to buy Nintendo Switch is once they announced it and they showed trailers, I was like, I don't want to play this game. So I never actually played Sword and Shield until like 2023, or 2022. I think it was 2023. I just ended up buying a Switch and just like, screw it, I got other stuff to play. I'll come back to this. I think for a lot of Pokemon fans, we were waiting for, the game's been on handheld for 20 something years, and we were ready for them to take this next big step into a home console, and we were ready to see what they were going to do. And it was just really disappointing because obviously there's like the was it Dexit, was it with the national Dex? Like they didn't
a lot of the Pokemon.
Yeah, they weren't able to get all the Pokemon into the game. They like the animations and the like character or the Pokemon model designs were just like very not detailed or like really that great. I will say the art direction and art design of this game is actually pretty good, and I really like when it like pans out into like the rolling hills or like the cities and stuff. That part is like for a game that doesn't or that for a game that has a fixed camera, I did actually really appreciate how they played with landscapes in that way. But yeah, and then just like the game itself, I was just very disappointed in how like boring and just not interesting the story was. It did get like slightly interesting at one point with the I did kind of like the enemy faction in this game. I thought it was at least somewhat interesting.
What, Team Yell? Nah.
Like they at least wait. No, I'm thinking of Sun and Moon. Never mind. Yeah, no, I don't like Team Yell.
Okay, I was about to say.
I'm thinking of what
Team
was the
Skull.
yeah, I'm thinking of
Skull,
Skull.
the-
Okay,
yeah, the punks or whatever.
yeah. Okay, yeah, no,
Yeah.
Yellow's garbage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just it's fine, but for what I
It's
think
serviceable.
it very much started the trend of like Pokemon fans realizing, oh no, Game Freak, like we have to hone in expectations. We
Yeah,
can
because it was
there-
like at least you could get every Pokemon in the games before, and this one was like, oh no, you can't this time. And now people were like, kind of like opening their eyes. It's like, wait, there's
and
like,
I'm sorry, their
big
reasoning was garbage. They didn't have you like again to go back to like some of the earlier podcast episodes this year. It's like you are the highest grossing franchise of all time. There is no excuse to act like an indie studio. But I digress. I will. The one positive thing I will give it is the Bench. What's the name of the second DLC?
Crown
the
Tundra.
Crown Tundra.
Yeah,
That
that
was
is
great.
actually that is actually a fantastic DLC.
100%.
It improved on the wild area and kind of showed a proof of concept for the next games. I thought the story was actually pretty interesting. So I will give
Legendary
my
hunting was awesome in that.
100%. And like what they did with the legendaries, I thought was super cool and kind of like also gives ideas for future games. Specifically Legends Arceus. So I was really happy with that. But yeah, I just have such a toxic relationship. Like this really just was like, I cannot believe that this is the game that they're gonna put on a home console.
I have two thoughts on this game I wanted to add. One, Corviknight, hell yeah.
Oh, great Pokemon.
Yeah. And then Hatterene as well. I love Hatterene as well.
Yep.
And Surfetch'd. Oh man, there were some good ones in this gen. But the other thing, remember Swordbur and Shieldbur?
Oh yeah.
The fucking
The fucking
Oh, dude, that post game was so funny. I remember playing through it and I'm like, there's no way. Like, there's gotta be something else here. Moving into, I think that's everything for 2019 of note, though. I gotta say, much stronger year for Nintendo. A lot more games coming out of them. It kind of came out. It's like, wow, they're really like doing a lot more stuff for the Switch. It kind of felt like a lot more of the teams were ready with their stuff, and that was with a pretty major delay with Animal Crossing that didn't come out till 2020. But speaking of 2020, I mean, we all know what happened during 2020: COVID, lockdown. And Nintendo especially kind of very much felt the effects of COVID. If you guys remember, this was a kind of a rough year for Nintendo fans. There were no major directs this year.
Yep.
You had partners. This was the introduction of partner showcases, which, God, do you guys remember the first partner showcase where we all sat around watching it? It's like, oh no, this is what we get, where it was like third parties. And it's like, WWE 2K Battlegrounds. It's like I could not believe what I was watching. I'm like, okay, well, this is just depressing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be honest, man. 2020 was kind of a rough year for a Nintendo fan. There was another major thing that happened this year that I really want to talk about. Is like kind of a scary moment as a Nintendo fan of like, oh god, are they going to do more of this type of thing? But before we get to that, there are some games. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. Not much to say there. It's like a remake of a classic GBA game. But then March 20th, same day as Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yeah. That's on my list.
A game that a lot of people are very passionate about. You want to talk about one of the most perfectly timed game releases of all time. When everyone was stuck indoors, this game came out and said, hey, hang out with your friends, do this. I'm not the biggest New Horizons fan, just because like I was a big New Leaf fan, and I feel like they just kind of hampered a lot of the things I really loved about New Leaf. But I'm not gonna sit here and deny and say it's a bad game because it's clearly like a very important game for the Switch and kind of the memories of that console. I know you guys have a lot more to say.
Yeah. So with New Horizons, so this was for me number 8, and man, yeah. So this one I did enjoy a ton just with the social aspects of it, and I would go to my friends' islands, or like they'd come to me, or there would be okay. So the thing well, I'd say I am an Animal Crossing fan because I played the Wii version and the 3DS version. My sister's a way bigger Animal Crossing fan, and she said that the thing that with the other games with like 3DS and Wii is that you actually have to work. You know, you actually have to spend time to like pay off that loan because it would take a while. Not with this one. If you just go to some island and that has really great turnip prices, you just pay it off in like
Oh
one
yeah,
session. It was
it
insane.
was pretty easy to cheat that game.
Yeah. No, it was crazy, but yeah, I still enjoyed up to a certain point of like just hang out with my friends because the part where I got crazy was like training villagers, but that's a whole other story.
Oh my god, dude! The amount of people who wanted that like stupid cat with the glasses.
Raymond,
Yeah,
yeah,
Raymond is like there was like a trade economy for that motherfucker, and I'm like, I got Pietro, I'm happy.
yeah.
Belt bench. I forget. Do you guys enjoy this one?
I had my time with New Horizons, but I mean, I like time leaped with it because I just don't have that kind of patience. I like being able to
Yeah.
play a game when I want to play it.
Yeah, it was also famously like there wasn't. It didn't have content. It was not finished because there was a lot of the events and stuff that was like free updates later on. So like if you wanted to do Halloween, you had to wait till October of that year. Which I don't know why they did that. It was a weird choice. And then they did like one big DLC pack. And then they were like, okay, that's it. And then they kind of
Yep.
finished content. It was very content devoid at launch in kind of a sad way. Bob, I forget. Bob, were you into Animal Crossing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was hard not to be, just
Yeah.
because of the pandemic and like everyone was playing it, and it's like if you had a Switch, it's like yeah, okay, you might as well. Like it was my first Animal Crossing game. Um, I was definitely really into it. Like the gameplay loop was super addicting of just the daily grind, and I'd get lost in trying to plan out like my island and my house and all those different things. I think it was super fun. I definitely remember like the trading economy. Like I was in a Discord where it's like literally hundreds of people would just be posting, and we
Yeah, it was so
go
huge.
to their islands and yeah, just or people with rare items in their store, all that stuff. And so you definitely gamified it, which I think definitely tarnished that game a little bit for me because I
Yeah.
did kind of wish that it was like you guys said, like it felt kind of easy to pay off the debt or to get cool things, and it didn't feel as rewarding, or you could time
Mhm.
skip. So
Yeah.
I do kind of hope that the next one's kind of more of a traditional Animal Crossing. But that being said, I still played it for the better part of 2020, and I would say if I made it top 20, it could sneak in there. Because I
Yeah,
definitely spent a lot of time with it. But yeah, I mean, really the main thing here is it was the perfect game to come out during the pandemic.
100%. Moving into our next title, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. This is a great remake. This is the only Xenoblade game I got into, but I was actually really into it. Only played it for like 30 hours, but dude, they actually really remade that game and made the textures actually like readable. So it's honestly shout outs to them for that. And then the next month we got Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics, which I love this game. It's a total banger for me. Then after that, Paper Mario the Origami King. Yeah, a controversial Paper Mario
Great
game.
game.
Yeah, bet you like this game, right?
I really liked this game. Like, I think it's like right below Thousand Year Door for me.
Oh wow, okay, interesting. Yeah, I know
I
the
think
writing in that is really strong.
the writing is so good, and I enjoyed the combat for what it was.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I know it's like a lot of people have different opinions when it comes to Paper Mario, but that's one that's like I remember when it came out, people were like, "Yeah, this is good." And then if you guys remember, in September 18th, we had the big Super Mario 35 anniversary direct, and they revealed Super Mario 3D All Stars.
Oh yes. Oh, I enjoyed this collection. That was the only one that.
Okay, as a collection, it's fine. Like it's like, yeah, you get the 3 of some of the best games of all time. That's fine. The way this game was released is still baffling to me. Where they said, "Hey, you get to play this up until March 31st." And it was the same case with what was it? Super Mario Brothers 35, where they're like, "Oh, you get to play this till March 31st." Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem localization, it was March 31st. And I don't know about you guys, I was really scared that Nintendo were effectively doing the Disney Vault thing moving forward. Thankfully, they stopped, but that was like kind of a moment of like, wow, you guys are really gonna start like gatekeeping, like time gatekeeping a lot of your games now, especially because 3D All Stars sold really well. So it's like you didn't even let it continue selling. You just said, hey, try to like bank on FOMO and then completely miss out on like later sales after that.
Yeah,
To
and
this
also
day, one of the
Galaxy
most
2.
confusing choices. Yeah, no
Where's
Galaxy
the-
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 3D All Stars, it's a good collection, but it's like, goddamn, like, you guys never do that again. And thankfully, they never did. They were like, okay, that's it.
Do any of you guys have the physical edition?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm digital. Yeah.
I got it physically. It goes for like what, like $80 now? Pretty expensive.
Yeah, I also have the physical because hey, it turns out
It
when
worked.
you've only played if you've only played Odyssey, it's like 3 of the first 3D platforms. Sure, yeah, I'll play it.
Oh yeah, it's worth it. It's a worthwhile collection. I will say $60 for it was a little much, but I'm a fucking sucker. And then there was. Did any of you play Super Mario Bros. 35? I played it for a bit. And I was like,
Yeah.
Like a day.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't into it. Cadence of Hyrule, I want to just shout out because like that was so cool. Doing like kind of an indie game, like utilizing the Zelda IP and doing a spinoff. I thought that was just a great idea. But I didn't really mess around with it too much. But then we got Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I thought Hyrule Warriors was the next one I was going to lead into it. But Pikmin 3 Deluxe is actually that's one of the best games on Switch right there. And then obviously we got Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. This is kind of their big like holiday title for this year. I don't know if any of y'all played this.
I did.
Okay.
I really
What'd
liked
you
it.
think of it?
I mean, I just think it was a cool like what if with those Breath of the Wild characters. And I thought like it was a big game too, like surprisingly a beefy game. But it was cool just being in that Breath of the Wild world and seeing that engine kind of utilized in weird ways for a Warriors game. And the story was half decent, and the maps were cool, and the characters and cutscenes were cool. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a decently long one too. It's actually surprising for its length, considering it was basically a Warriors Muso game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I mean, I want to get around to it eventually because it does look cool. But that's it for 2020. I gotta say, pretty weak year. This was a year that was very much carried by Animal Crossing, and I mean, Nintendo very much were thrown into a loop. Like they didn't know what to do after effectively like the brutal like COVID pandemic really messed up their work schedules. I will say they bounced back fairly quickly afterwards into 2021, but it was definitely a little worrying after that.
Wait. I'm sorry. I was gonna say 2020. Was that the one with the crazy Smash reveals with like Steve and everything? Or was that 2021?
2020
Oh.
had Steve, yeah. Steve
Oh,
and
oh.
Midman.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
Dude, Steve really did break the internet. Like it was a pretty insane moment. Like I remember Twitter just did completely broken. This was before Twitter was broken.
Yeah.
Moving into 2021, hey, listen, one of the first games that released, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This is on my list. One of my favorite Mario games, along with
Number 5.
New one. Number 10 for me. It just barely made it, but
Yeah.
this
Oh
is
yeah.
amazing. They take 3D World, which I'll be honest, I wasn't the biggest 3D World fan on Wii U, but then they brought it to Switch, and dude, they did something in that game. They made it faster. They kind of made things like expeditionally, like just changed slight things here and there. And that game flows so much better on Switch. It works better as a multiplayer game on Switch just because like the Joy-Cons and the kind of snapping off and everything. That level to level gameplay really does work, and it's a ton of fun to just run through levels in that game. Just do like a quick run with like some friends or family. And then Bowser's Fury, I mean, they take basically that 3D World engine and do almost a proof of concept of what we could see the next 3D Mario game become, this more open world-esque vibe, and absolutely loved it, dude. I remember when that game came out and I just spent sped through that playthrough. It was like
Same.
so much fucking fun.
Yeah, this is my favorite Mario platformer. I just really love the level-based gameplay. Just how Mario moves and all the power-ups, and just every level is something different. I'd compare it to like Astrobot, with kind of just you're getting something new every level, and all the worlds and the post-game content on top of Bowser's Fury just make it a really good package.
Yeah, it's always like one of the first games I recommend. It was like, dude, there's so much content here.
Oh yeah, 100%. I enjoy this one a ton. Yeah, and I think this one is interesting because it was like I was debating between putting this or Wonder on my list because they're both like tied-ish. I'd say on mine for number 5 and 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome game. I respect it. Moving into New Pokemon Snap, which was the sequel to Pokemon Snap that everyone wanted, and then nobody played it. And then we had like ports of the Famicom Detective Club games, which is cool. And then Miitopia.
Great games. No, Famicom Detective Club. Just shout out to them. Really fun games. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then there was Miitopia, which is like the first 3DS remake on Switch, which is like, why this game? That was just my thought of like, this is dumb. Game Builder Garage, which I always kind of respect, of like, this is a really interesting like game you guys are doing here, but I feel like it just like wasn't utilized enough. I remember there wasn't like a Mario Maker like level screen where you could kind of like choose other people's like creations and like play through them. It's like, no, you had to get them online, which just like makes no fucking sense. But then, Bob, this is for you. Mario Golf Super Rush. We got
not on my list.
Oh, what? No way.
Yeah,
Bob, I want to hear you talk about this one because I know you got a lot to say.
I mean, this is just a travesty of a game. I was looking so forward to this, and like even when I saw the speed golf, because speed golf is a real thing. It was kind of more popular in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, but still nonetheless a thing where literally you would like try and run from shot to shot, and you'd only carry like 3 clubs with you, and try and like it would be like the score you actually shot on the golf course plus the time that took you to finish, and people would do it like 30-45 minutes. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So like that's
I didn't
what
know speed golf was real, so that's interesting.
Yes, so like it was kind of loosely based on like a real idea, and like I was all for that, but I just like at this story, if you want to call it that, mode of this game is just so terrible. The multiplayer is so unremarkable. There's like no content in this game to be found. I just remember downloading and playing this game, and by the end of like the second day, I was like, I have made such a big mistake. Like this is just miserable. So yeah, that's all I got for Super Rush.
God bless Super Rush, man. People were so excited when it got revealed too. It's the thing of like these Mario sports games were just content devoid. There was nothing to do, man. It feels so weird that Nintendo does this weird thing with a lot of their games where they're like, "Oh, we're doing free updates." It's like, yeah, make it free, but like you still release like a game for $60 with like barely anything to do. So yeah, Mario Golf Super Rush. We won't miss you.
Nope.
Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD the next month. This is how I finally beat Skyward Sword, and this is a great version of Skyward Sword. Great game.
Shout out, Jack.
Love with it. Yeah, shout out, Jack. WarioWare Get It Together, September 10th. I didn't play this WarioWare. I played the other one. I don't know if any of y'all played this one, but I heard it was a good time.
That was pretty solid.
And then one of my favorite games on Switch, Metroid Dread, on October 8th, 2021.
Ooh.
This was a big game. I did not put it on my list. I barely missed it. I thought it was one of my favorites. Never mind. I think it was like number 11. But I mean, Metroid Dread, you kind of get that return to 2D Metroid, getting the Metroidvania style yet again, finally, after a pretty long hiatus of a brand new one. And I don't know if you guys know the story. Like, a Metroid Dread was originally a DS game, and they were trying to develop for it, and then they were like, we're gonna wait for better hardware. And I guess they waited till the Switch to finally do it. But Mercury Steam kind of hit it out of the park. The gameplay is so fucking good in this game. It is unreal how good it feels to play. And the boss fights are so memorable, especially by the end. Like, the story gets so insane. It is an incredible game. I always think back to like wanting to like kind of revisit it because it's one that's just a super tight and fun experience from beginning to end. Bench, did you play Dread? I think you did, right?
I did. But it's a very hard game, so it took me a
Very
while.
hard.
Yeah, I just
got
really
locked
enjoyed
in.
it as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed Dread as well.
Yeah, Dread's great. And then we finally got a good Mario Party. Mario Party Superstars, October 29th. I mean, yeah, we got something from Mario Party that's actually good for once.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and
okay,
all it
is
was
just
the old maps.
but
Yeah.
dude, it's still good.
I know, but that's that's where the bar was.
Yeah, it was basically, and it's still devoid of content. And we kept thinking like maybe they'll do DLC. They never did.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
still, this is definitely one of the better Mario Party games, I'd still say.
Oh yeah, I didn't buy this one because I was like low-key pissed at it. Like, why should you release the other one if this was gonna be better?
I respect it. I do want to shout out real quick. I completely missed it. Same day as Metroid Dread was the Switch OLED.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
never-
right.
I never got one because I don't play on my Switch handheld much, but I've seen like pictures and videos of it, and like, man, it really does make a difference to what it does to those games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my OLED. I mean, I got it day one and treated it with dread, and then also played a bit of Dragon Quest XI, but eventually dropped it. But the OLED, I mean, I just really enjoy it because the screen is just bigger, which I don't play my Switch handheld as well, but just having that bigger screen is better. On top of just, it feels more like a premium device. It's kind of hard to explain, but just everything about it feels fancier in a way that its presentation just looks a lot less like mangly.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, you kind of look at the original Switch; it feels so haphazard in a lot of ways. But then you look at the OLED; it's like this is a piece of technology.
The lack of bezels, the frames
Yeah,
around
oh
the
my
screen
God.
really did a lot for the OLED. And yeah, it's hard to explain. Like it's generally, even if you watch like a YouTube video on it, you generally just need to like go to a friend's house and see it for yourself. Like the difference between, like, again, playing Mario Party or Mario Kart, we were talking about in the retrospective, like a Rainbow Road or the Electrodome, like playing that on the OLED versus the normal Switch, it really feels like a different console. It's
100%.
quite insane.
Yeah, it's incredible what the OLED is able to kind of like do to make colors pop out in a spectacular way. And then we get to November 19th. This is my fucking 13th reason why. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yep.
These
Okay.
games fucking suck. These are, without question, to me, the worst Pokemon games. You want to take one of my favorite generations, beautiful Generation 4. I love Gen 4. I am a Gen 4 simp. And you're going to say, hey, we're going to remake the bad ones. We're not even going to include any of the content from Platinum, which is the one that everyone likes substantially more. We're going to use this really ugly chibi art style, but then when you get into battle, you're not in a chibi art style. And it's like, why not just have a consistent art style? We're going to make the game barely even run on Switch, which is funny because of how bad it looks. It is disgusting to look at the character models, especially with what they do to like some incredible characters. The game is fucking easy. It is so easy up until the end of the Elite Four, where they're like, oh, right, we need to make it somewhat challenging. And it's just a random difficulty spike for no reason. And the post-game is nothing because the original Diamond and Pearl had a nothing post-game. But for some reason, they never added the Platinum content, which is the stuff people actually like. Game sucks. Dog shit. One of my least favorite games on Switch. I was so disappointed in this one.
I wouldn't say it's a bad game, but it's like a wet fart. It doesn't do anything remarkable. It doesn't even do anything close to good. It's just meh and okay.
Yeah, I didn't put this on my list because like like I
I
wasn't.
would hope not. If you thought about it, oh god.
Yeah, I wasn't as like negative on it. I was like, okay, it's a fine game, but that's the thing. It's fine. It's nothing spectacular. It's just like I played I played Pokemon Y. I played Pokemon Sun. It's just another Pokemon game, but it's I'm not amazed by it.
Dude, it just sucks because I always tell people how good Gen 4 is. And then they play this one and they're like, oh, Gen 4 is not that good. It's like, no, you played the wrong one. That's why.
Yeah, I think you kind of touched on a Wolf, but it still blows my mind that Game Freak had the formula in Heart Gold and Soul Silver on how to properly do a remake of older games and include content that was in like Crystal and put it in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And that was clearly Heart Gold and Soul Silver, besides Bench, is like the most beloved of like the Pokemon
Correct.
series and easily the best remake.
Or
And then they just said, "Hey, we're not going to do that for the Gen 3 or the Gen 4
Whoa.
remakes." Actually,
listen, you don't. Gen 3 remake is pretty goated.
it's not because there's no Emerald content in that either, and the balancing, like that's the thing that like blows my mind. Is not even like, okay, fine, there's no Platinum content, that's fine, but Platinum also genuinely, like, it's a balance patch. They changed the trainers and the type of Pokemon and the levels so that it's actually it's a better fucking like battle experience, and so they don't even do that. It's like it's like unpatching a game, like to remake it. It just makes no sense whatsoever.
I will say, you Hoenn fans always gotta go like, oh yeah, our remake was bad too. It's like, no, my remake was way worse. Okay, we're not.
Yeah, but our remake ran so yours could walk.
That is funny. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Ilka, by the way, dude. Like, this was the one they outsourced. It's like, you're gonna outsource the remake to my generation? Oh god, I don't want to see. I don't want to see the black and white remakes. Just leave those alone, man.
No, since these were bad, my generation is going to be the best.
Yeah, okay. If you get HD 2D while we get the destroyed ones, it's like, fuck you, Bench.
There's no way that there's just I will. There's no way.
But yeah, that's all the major releases of 2021. I'd say solid year for the Switch. Not an amazing year, but two major disappointments for me and Bob with Brilliant Diamond and Mario Golf. But you had stuff like Metroid Dread that really carried it. And it's like, this is an okay year for the Switch. And then we move into 2022, and this is a really strong year for the Switch because immediately up Pokemon Legends Arceus.
We're back. We're back,
baby. Damn, didn't make my list barely, but I mean,
number one for
wow.
boppers. Yeah,
this
is number 7 for me.
Chad, is this on your list? I didn't.
Oh, so I own this game. I've played a little bit, but I never finished it, so that's why I couldn't rank it.
No worries. This is my number one, and this is like kind of where Game Freak I foolishly thought I could believe again. But I just remember seeing the trailer for this game being like, what are they doing here? Like, why are there different like starters from each like different gens? Like, what is this? Why is it like old school? And then realizing it's like a Gen 4 prequel in a way, but also kind of more from the perspective of a Pokemon researcher and professor. But then like you have the characters from Gen 4, but it's like, they're great ancestors. And then just we finally get an open world, granted open zone, but I think it works better than open world Pokemon game, and just going out and collecting data and observing and exploring all these different regions. It actually tells like a fairly competent story that took at least one, maybe two twists along the way, which I was not expecting. Granted, I saw where the twists were going, but still, for Pokemon, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's insane.
And-
And that's the super boss at the end. Oof.
Yeah, oh my god, dude. And the music. I mean, this
Oh,
this soundtrack is e- yeah, it is the best Pokemon soundtrack, and it's like a top 3 Nintendo soundtrack for me. It is just
Wow.
so good. Between Obsidian Fieldlands, the Coronet Mountains, the
Jubilife.
what's the Jubilife theme, and how it grows the farther you get into the game and like expand the city. Like the song grows longer and longer. It's just it really was the best, and it really like kind of like restored my faith in Game Freak, because it was the first time they really made like a side game for the first time in a while. And I
those
was
hopes were
really
dashed.
yeah. I mean, listen, I don't want to
We'll get
talk
to
about
it.
yeah,
We'll get
but like it really did restore a lot of faith in Pokemon, and it was like the first time in such a long time where I'm like, wow, I like it was the first one to make me realize like, oh, I don't have to like it's still not my favorite. Like Gen 3 will always be my favorite, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver is probably up there too. But like this is a number 3 for Pokemon games for me. I just think it just is that good.
Yeah, I'm
And
also
it-
a big lover of this
yeah.
game. I mean, it kind of does like what you kind of hit on all the major points I was going to hit on, but I also just want to point out it's like it did kind of like give me my Sinnoh love. Like it was like how depressed I was after BDSP, but then this one comes out and it's like, okay, this is kind of like this is more than a lot of people get, you know, with their generations. It's like going to the past, and like his Sinnoh is so focused on the lore and what happens that it was really awesome kind of seeing like, hey, here's a like Pokemon game that's willing to kind of like talk more about the world and the history and like everything that happened, and you know has really good characters, a really cool like list of brand new Pokemon and evolutions and stuff. I was really into this game for a while, and you know I beat it. I didn't complete the Pokedex because that's a shit ton of Pokemon, but
I did.
oh hell yeah, man! Hey, you got the Arceus fight, which
Oh, yeah.
it feels good that it's like, oh my god, finally Arceus is an event only. Thank God.
Right.
But yeah, awesome game. I really, really.
And
did.
just since it wasn't Nintendo published, I kind of forgot to shout out Bravely Default 2, which is my number
Oh, yeah, that was 2021.
7. Yeah. So I forgot to shout that out because it was on the list I'm looking at. But I mean, it's just one of my favorite Switch games. One of my favorite things Square has done in recent memory. It could have just been like the perfect storm, because I did play it whenever I was kind of like, I just got surgery and couldn't go to school for 6 weeks. So it was like perfect storm.
That's
and
best
everything-
type of, surgery
Yeah,
game.
and I mean, the art style, like the combat, the characters, the story, just everything about it is classic JRPG in the ways that matter to me the most. And it really resonated me in a game. And the soundtrack is amazing as well. And it's a game I think about often. And hopefully, maybe tomorrow I'll find more news about the series.
I think didn't Sawano, the guy who does like Attack on Titan, didn't he do the soundtrack to at least the first game? I remember hearing something about that.
Maybe, I'm not sure. I know he did like the new Xenoblade X, but I can't.
Yeah.
I didn't play the first
Maybe
game.
I
That's
got
why
those
I hope
confused.
it comes to Switch.
Yeah, no, I mean, really default too. I think that's a franchise like Square at least keeps somewhat attention to. Where it's like, yeah, we could like bring out a new entry every few years.
Mhm.
Moving into, if that's everything about Legends Arceus, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, March 25th. Oh man, I love this game. This is number 9 for me.
Oh, number 9 for me too. Yeah,
Oh,
I
hell
enjoyed
yeah.
this one.
Yeah,
Number 6.
hardcore Kirby fan. Is one of my favorite Nintendo franchises, and this game kind of, after Star Allies, God bless its soul, it was such a basic Kirby game. And the Forgotten Land comes out. It's like, no, we're actually going to do something new with this franchise. Finally, an actual 3D Kirby game, and they fucking nail it. It has such a fun, loving vibe. All the levels are really creative and interesting. They did something new with the copy abilities of allowing you to upgrade them, and I feel like just every time, like, I just got obsessed with like the minutia of like going back to the Waddle Dee village, like messing around with the mini games that kept unlocking, and like trying to like go to the store, upgrading stuff, going to the arena. So much extra content. Game is filled to the brim with content that it felt like I was like every 5 seconds, like I got something new. It's just a game that really works for me. It kind of reminds me of like, oh yeah, Kirby is like just still the GOAT, like to this day.
Yeah, I just it's that level based gameplay again that I really like in platformers that really helped me resonate with this game for me because I really love like I got all of the Waddle Dees, just like that
Sure.
collectathon type of thing, and like I mean to get all the Waddle Dees, you have to beat every single boss besides the final boss without getting hit once, and that might sound annoying at first, but it's a memorable experience because a game that's not normally about its gameplay and combat kind of becomes about that when you really have to master it down to the second against these bosses.
Yeah, that's the cool part about Kirby games is that they're about as hard as you want them to be. That's why Star Allies didn't work because like that game's just easy. But then Forgotten Lands, like no, that game can be really difficult, especially when you go for the 100%, which is awesome.
Yeah. I was shook at first when you transform in the car, and then I was even more shook when you got to be the vending machine. That was really fun. Such a cool
Dude, that
mechanic.
animation was great.
Or like the scaffolding.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Like there's just so many ridiculous things, and that was probably my favorite part of that game. It didn't make my list, but it probably would have been like top 15. Like yeah, we all know Kirby can do the copy abilities, but for like to see them take that next step and be like, oh no, he can do like let's have some fun with it with like the car or the cone or the hose or all those different ones. Like I think they really nailed like another like layer to his gameplay that made that game really really fun.
100%. Should have been nominated for Game of the Year. I'm still mad about that. It wouldn't have won, but it's like it should have been at least nominated. And then the next month,
Hold on.
Oh, did I miss something?
Yes, we got a third party game that
I don't know. List of like third-party games.
I don't think it's going to be on anyone else's list, but it's my number 4. March 4th, 2022 was Triangle Strategy.
Oh yeah, dude, I really love this game.
Yeah,
I never beat it though because it's long as shit.
It is long, but this was another kind of for me. The hook was like Game of Thrones again. And you did have your different factions. Of course, you're really only one character, but you can like choose different paths, and they did, they try and say like, oh, your choices mean something, and they genuinely do. This game has some replayability in that regard, because you can have different branching paths, and it was another great strategy game. And I just remember early on, there's a decision where you have to, choose between these two things. And I'm like, I genuinely don't know what to do. These are both going to result in like something terrible. And then that something terrible happens. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to do everything in my power, like in this level to prevent that from happening. And you just can't, like, you just physically can't. And that's when I got so depressed, and then I looked at the game and I'm like, wait, this is such a banger of a game that this is like how this is going. I was so obsessed with it. And I think it's just a really, really good strategy game with a really, really good story. And highly recommend it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's.
I have a third party as well.
Just real quick with Triangle Strategy, I want to shout out. It's like you said, Bob. It's like that is a really well playing game too. Like that is just like tactics work for that game really well. And
HD 2D, it's beautiful.
HD 2D, man. I regret so much not beating that game because like I really loved it. I don't know about how you guys feel, but sometimes I play a tactics game and I get so tired out after each battle. I'm like, I gotta play something else.
Yeah.
This is stressful. But what would you want to shout out, Bench?
On April 12th, 2022, a game came to Switch that I really think first got its breakout on Switch, and that's 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. It was on PlayStation first, however, I, and I think many others, noticed it on Switch. It's number 4 on my list.
Yeah,
and like my
counts. Go for it.
Number 6 all time, I think, for me. I mean, this game was such a roller coaster. I know Wolf has played it. It's not as high as me. It's such a roller coaster of a game. Like you think you know what might happen, and just like every session you sit down, something crazy happens, and then it develops that next session, and then flips that entire thing on its head, and it's just the entire game has you on its toes throughout its like visual novel type stuff, and it's just an engaging gameplay loop on top of it's got a really cool like battle tower kind of gameplay system, system as well.
Defense. Yeah.
Tower defense. I mean, that's also really fun, and they kind of weave some music into that as well at some really good times, like the soundtrack. also an all-time soundtrack, and just everything about this game is like my type of game that really elevates it for me.
Yeah, no, dude, that game's great. It is at points of like it gets a little term heavy, which I'm not a big fan of, but
Yeah, that's
outside of
fair.
that, yeah, no, it's an awesome game. Highly recommend it. What is it like? It's a short game too, like 20 hours, I think.
Around there.
Yeah. I was kind of looking through a list to kind of like make sure I didn't miss any other major third parties or like indies that want to shout out. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally got those games localized, which is awesome. And just
Yeah.
Ace Attorney in general had a big like bunch of games on Switch. Like they finally did Investigations 1 and 2, which is like, yeah, hell yeah, we're getting these games finally. And also, I don't know if you guys remember this. Hades was originally console exclusive to Switch. It came
True.
to PC, but
Yeah.
console wise, like it was only on Switch. And that's how I played it. It's like Hades speaks for itself. It's fucking amazing. But yeah, I just wanted to shout those two out real quick. But if we can move into Nintendo Switch Sports.
Okay, it's actually kind of fun game. I played it with my siblings. It's
Yeah.
a very chill time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm not a hater of this one. I think it's actually better than it gets credit for.
I just miss the Mii's.
That's
I don't
fair.
like I don't like whatever those things are, but it is a fine game. It's just again, it's a kind of content devoid. It's like you guys could have added more, like some type of single player. But as a Wii Sports follow up,
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's very much a follow up to Wii Sports, where I granted I never played Wii Sports Resort, so I'm not sure like if there's any differences there. But to me, I was like, yep, you get your game, you pick your sport, you go and you play it either by yourself or with people, and there you go.
here's the thing: Wii Sports was a console bundle game. And
Sure, that's
and it
fair.
had 5 sports, and Wii Sports Resort added a shit ton of sports. There is way more things to do in Resort than Switch Sports. And I'm saying all this. I don't hate Switch Sports. It's fine. I just wish there was more to it.
I think the bowling multiplayer and was really good.
Yeah.
I liked the volleyball. I think the volleyball was a lot of fun. Tennis is always a good one, and then of course
Mhm.
golf. I thought the golf was really good in Switch Sports.
Better than Mario Golf.
Better than Mario Golf without a doubt.
Speaking of Mario sports games, disappointments, June 10th, Mario Strikers Battle League. How do they keep fucking this up? Because this one's next level. It's not even Camelot. And it's still just nothing to do. And also the online was horrible. Because it was like you couldn't play with your friends? What? Which is just insane. Not much to say. It's just a really dumb sports game. Again, like what we were saying, Bob, the Mario sports games on Switch are just depressing.
Yeah, like this game isn't bad like Mario Golf Super Rush was, but like there's no like definitely no single player. The tournament mode is super bare bones. The AI is ridiculously hard. Like you are either winning a game or you're getting like half court like shots that go in by the computer. And it's like, dude, what? It just it never really felt like balanced or competitive or engaging. It just it was a mess, and it sucked because it looked great. I was popping off for this when it got announced, but yeah, unfortunately, it continues that trend of just like what is going on with the sports games.
And then later that month, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, which I really enjoyed it, but
I did.
It was fine. It's not one that sticks with me.
Honestly, I think it might have been in my top 5 that year. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a solid game. And then the next month we got my number 3, Live Alive. I love this game to absolute pieces. I could talk all day about it. I don't want to bore people because I feel like all I do is talk about Live Alive and all its praises. It, to me, is kind of the definitive nature of what I want from JRPGs. It's not too long. It's like 25 hours if you want to do everything max. It has these incredible vignettes where it's like all different types of characters and different time periods that are all so interesting and they're fun, and then it all converges into this incredible
Yes.
final chapter, which is unfucking real. It has this insane. There's like a twist at the second to last chapter, which is like sticks with me to this day. It's also just a very beautiful game, and also the OST is done by Yoko Shimomura. It is one of my
Megalomania.
favorite. It's such a good fucking song, man. That game is incredible. I literally could start a church about Live Alive. I recommend it to everyone. It's top tier JRPG in my opinion.
Yeah, it's very memorable. And even like some of those things are 30 minutes to an hour, and it's still like, oh, this is a solid amount of that time that you're just spending, and then it all converges, like you said.
100%. Yeah, so that's my number 3. I love that game to death. And then literally the next week, because Square Enix is so bad at their release timing, but next week was Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Bench, this is all you.
Yeah, I could sit here and talk about this game for hours, but I'll condense it. It's my number 2 for Switch and my number 4 all-time game. Just this game might have been Perfect Storm as well. It's probably my favorite story ever in a video game. It's just everything, the characters and the themes. Like the main theme of the game is moving on, like moving past things, like not being stationary, I guess is how you'd say it. Not being happy with where you are, but looking to the future on where you can be, and even if it's hard, the struggle's worth it because you'll be better for it. And I guess as a time of like graduating high school, life is really changing. Like things aren't maybe not going exactly how I would have planned, so what if I just like shut in and don't do anything? It really just picked me up and like said, things are going to be hard. You don't want to stay as they are, and you got to keep moving forward. And this game just spoke to me on such a deep level, on top of just the characters being great, the combat being great, exploration being great, just everything I like in JRPGs, on top of a story that hit me like a fucking truck because of how good it is.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, the Xenoblade, I mean, that was nominated for Game of the Year that year.
Yep.
People really, really dig that game a lot, and it's kind of fascinating to think about, like, just the progression of Xenoblade Chronicles, where it kind of went from a game that people had to beg Nintendo to localize to, you know, being a Game of the Year nominated game, which, you know, that's incredible. Really respect that. And then September 9th, Splatoon 3.
Oh, let's go.
This
I have
is
this on my
Jack.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was on my number. Where did I put it? Oh, I put it at number 7. Okay. So yeah, this was actually close to my birthday, so I got it as kind of like a birthday gift for myself. And yeah, this game honestly, it it is just more Splatoon. It just visually, this game looks really good. I think they like slightly upped the graphics from Splatoon 2, and just the playstyle just felt so smooth. I'm like, oh man, the weapon choices were really good. I didn't do the whole campaign, but some of it, and I thought, yeah, this is like it's just a nice clean shooter experience and just something very unique. And I was surprisingly, like, when I was trying to play it, I didn't realize how good I was actually at this game when I was just starting out. I thought I'd be really bad, but no, it was good. And then immediately, like after like 3 or 4 games, I got humbled really hard because when you bump into the pro players, you're so cooked. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Splatoon 3, dude. That's one I always wanted to check out. It's one of the only big Nintendo franchises I haven't played, so it's like I definitely want to get to it eventually. I know a lot of people talk a lot about Splatoon.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, would you say the placement was on your list again?
Oh, it was number 7.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. And then we have Mario plus Rabbids Spark of Hope. I didn't play this one, but I've heard good things about it. They had a Rayman DLC, which I'm like, dude, man, I kind of want to just play it just for that because I love Rayman. And then later that month, Bayonetta 3, a game that, if you guys remember, was revealed in 2017.
Oh yeah, at the Game Awards. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It shouldn't have taken that long, considering what it did come out as, which is a great Bayonetta game. I love this game. I think it's a ton of fun. I love the franchise in general, but it was that case of like, yeah, it's more Bayonetta. Like, there's not much more to really. They added, like, there was like a playable character that was kind of lame, But other than that, it's like the combat is still phenomenal. The boss fights are still really cool. But outside of that, to me, it's like, oh, it's more Bayonetta. You know, I love Bayonetta 1 and 2, and I love 3. But it's like, I like them all. But it's like 2 is still easily the best one.
The memorable thing I have from Bayonetta 3 is the whole voice actor thing leading up to release.
God.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Taylor, yeah, with the fucking like, oh, they didn't pay me. And then it's like, no, they did. They offered. That was insanity. All right. Bop. Off the bench. November 18th, 2022. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I like this game. It is a travesty. It was completely broken. It is unacceptable, the state that this game was released in. I had fun with it. I like the idea of like open world Pokemon, and there was a lot of cool things about it. But literally, to this day, it's still broken.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of went over this a couple months ago and kind of our build up to the Pokemon Direct. But yeah, story wise, I think like a top 3 Pokemon story, at least in the base game. I do not want to talk about the DLC. Maybe Bench can chime in when he wants to. But the base game story, top 3. I think it genuinely told a interesting and like a story that I didn't think they were going to go there. Let's just put it that way. Like I really didn't think they were going to like tackle some of those subjects. So that was really cool to see. And I think it's also some of the best Pokemon design that we've gone in a while. I thought there were some great new additions to like just like the Pokemon themselves. But yeah, as far as the what?
Tinkaton.
Yeah, Tinkaton's great. What is it? Is it what's the pepper one?
Oh, Scovillain?
Scovillain. Oh, I love Scovillain. I that's such a great one. Celerouge.
Excalibur. I love Excalibur.
What is the what is the dog, the bread dog?
Oh my god, what was it called? It was like Baguette something. No, wait, it wasn't Baguette.
No, it was
Donut?
No. Regardless, like there are some really good designs. Also, like the starters, I think are pretty solid.
Fido.
No,
Fido,
evolution of Fido.
Dash Bun.
Dash Bun, yes, because it's a Dachshund and I had a Dachshund growing up, so that one was a little sentimental, but yeah, I really did. There's so much about this game I really liked. I liked that they tried to do an open world. But yeah, as far as technical limitations, Game Freak does not know how to develop for a 3D game. I'm convinced that the reason they did bodegas for Pokemon Center is because they didn't know how to make interiors for this game, which is why the only interiors you actually go into is like your house, which is like weirdly wide open. You have to load into the academy for that interior. It's not actually in the world, and then everything else is a menu. Because I'm just convinced that Game Freak didn't know how to develop an interior, which says a lot about their development in 2022, 2023. So. Yeah, unfortunately, a super disappointing game from a technical level, but like genuinely a pretty solid to good Pokemon game, which is why it sucks to talk about because it's like, man, I'm so at odds with it. It definitely didn't make my list.
Yeah, and I think the DLC is good. I guess Bop does not like it, but I think it does a cool thing where you have like your very nice like Pokemon rival for the DLC, like happy-go-lucky, kind of what they've done in the last decade with Pokemon rivals. And at the end of the first DLC, something happens and it turns that like happy-go-lucky rival into the old like blue total ass prick rival that you know and love. And then it kind of builds the bridge from there in the second DLC, and I thought that was really cool. Even if the game looks like dog shit.
Yeah, it really does look like dog shit. It's rough, especially for the highest grossing Pokemon.
Playing Xenoblade X, which is also an open world, and sure they're not the same, but like it's laughable comparing the two.
Mm-hmm. Moving into, I think that's up for 2022. Very solid year for the Switch, in my opinion. A lot of good stuff that came out. Okay, last 2 years, boys. Hopefully, we're not all destroyed and tired. We've been recording for a while. Fire Emblem Engage.
Oh, let's
January
go.
2023. I didn't really play this one too much. I want to get back to it eventually, but I enjoyed what I played, at least from a gameplay standpoint. The story.
Yeah.
No. But gameplay was fun.
Oh,
Gameplay is really good, but story is bad.
yeah. First Fire Emblem game, and I did not do any of the side stuff. I was going combat, but it was addicting.
Yeah, no, the combat's great, but yeah, that story. And then Metroid Prime Remastered, which was great, and then we get into the same month actually. Kirby's Dream Return to Dreamland Deluxe. They added like a new Magalore mode in that, which was actually really fun. I checked that out.
Oh, you enjoyed it? Oh, I didn't enjoy it as much. I thought it was
Yeah.
okay.
It's short. It's like whatever, but like I enjoyed it. Bayonetta Origins, which I never got around to. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. If you guys remember, this is the game that got delayed due to the Ukrainian war, which is just.
Oh yeah.
I mean, dude, this is a franchise that cannot catch a break. The first Advance Wars came out in GBA, literally, I think, on 9/11. So it's just that it can never catch a break. But yeah, I did play at least the first game. It's like it's great, but it's not really anything to write home about, in my opinion.
Yo, we're gonna be sweating when they announce the next one.
Yeah, it's just like whenever they announce the next one, it's like, oh god. Though I will say, it's like after kind of all that, it's like I think they're like, yeah, okay, we're done with Advance Wars for a while. And then May 12th, 2023, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Pretty high on all of the lists, I think.
No, not mine. I didn't play it.
Damn, Jet.
Number one.
Crazy. Number 1 for Bench. Number 4 for
3.
me. I mean, listen, there's not a lot more to say. It's just a sequel to one of the best games of all time, and it improves on almost everything. It's kind of hard to deny what Tears of the Kingdom is as a game. It's truly something special and magnificent.
And it's like a technical feat for the Switch. Like 3
God, yeah.
like individual worlds. And like just the fact that they hid so much pre-launch, like you didn't know much going in, on top of like I really resonated with the story. I know some people say, well, it like ruined the timeline. Well, you can enjoy not liking the game then. Because I really enjoyed the story they had to tell and the emotional moments they had to give, especially as you were going towards the conclusion. I mean, it's just out of all the Switch games, it's got like the best final boss. Like, how
Oh my
can you
God,
beat what
yeah.
they did?
Dude.
It's so good. Yeah,
and like not even just like the end, like the second phase, like the health bar, and you're like, oh shit, and then it's kind of
Right.
oh,
Oh,
so
yeah,
good.
that was so good. Yeah, no, I think for me, this was definitely this game definitely holds like it's weird. I had my Breath of the Wild moment with Tears of the Kingdom, like, and it's weird to explain it like that, but it's true because like I played Breath of the Wild. We talked about it earlier. Like it just didn't really click for me, and yet for some reason, just adding like vehicles or like the physics and mechanics of building things just kind of like clicked that creativity in my head, and it's like, oh, now I really do want to go explore. I love the shrines in this game are so good. Where
Oh yeah.
like and no shot to Breath of the Wild shrines. Those are also really good. I mean, puzzles are puzzles, right? They're all good, but just adding a layer of like trying to build something, and there's like I call it like the GTA manslaughter, where it's like you had to build a vehicle and like run over the guardians. Or
yeah,
the
I remember what you're talking about.
or the what do they call
The Zonai? Not Zonai.
No, what is it? It starts with a B. I can never call it right. Boblicans?
Oh, Bokoblins.
Bokoblins, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then there was like a long run, like it was like a Halo 3 level, like you had to build a car and go
Yes,
down
dude.
a super long track with a jump at the end.
It was so creative. Like just
Yeah, it just like really just clicked with me on a creative level. And yeah, the story I thought was amazing. And then I'll never forget doing that first, like, I'll just say dungeon in the sky area, and it's like, oh,
Dude.
this is still, oh, this just, oh, we got a real like section on our hands, and that was just such an awesome feeling. Yeah, I can't say enough about this game. I just adored it so much, and I'm really glad that I got to have that moment with Zelda, because I felt like I was missing out on Breath of the Wild, and for it to click for me on Tears of the Kingdom was just so satisfying.
And then we had a great follow up to that with Everybody 1-2 Switch.
Let's go.
That game's awful. That is actually like one of the most disgustingly bad games of all time.
They try to go like a Jackbox route, and like they just did not fundamentally understand.
I'm not joking, Bob. Some of the mini games literally don't work.
Yeah, no, I know. I played it.
Yeah.
You cannot play some of the mini games. I couldn't. We were trying to play it in the Discord. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I think I was there for that. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah.
just didn't work. Terrible game.
But thankfully, it's followed up by one of my favorite games of all time, one of the greatest experiences on planet Earth. The Lord giveth, Pikmin 4. I fucking love this game. I love this game so much. It's my number 5. Everything about Pikmin 4, dude, in some days it's my number 1. Okay? Pikmin 4 to me is a perfectly crafted video game. Every second of that game I was having fun. Every second of that game I was getting something new, doing something cool. That Pikmin gameplay loop is already immaculate, and Pikmin 4 basically, the way I always explain Pikmin 4 is it feels like it was made in a lab and like worked on for like over 1,000 years in like the hyperbolic time chamber. And they came out with this perfectly crafted game that just flows immaculately from area to area. Every single thing you're getting, you're upgrading, you're working towards something new. That gameplay loop is so exquisitely made, and it's like it lasts just as long as when you need it to. Literally, the millisecond I was like, I think I'm done with this game. It's like game ended. It's like that is insanity. Every other game, it's like it lasts longer or lasts too short. It's like no, literally the exact millisecond I was like done with the game finished. I love Pikmin 4. It's fucking perfect. Perfect. I love it. Okay, I'm obsessed with Pikmin. It's one of my favorite Nintendo franchises. And all the games are good. Literally every single one of them is phenomenal. And
Yeah,
I'm the only one who played.
I had a Pikmin binge where I played 1 through 3, and I just never got to 4.
It never got to the best one.
I own 4 too, so like I don't have any excuses. But at this point, it's like, well, if it's backwards compatible and has a tiny adjustment on Switch too.
Yeah.
I started 4 on my recent trip, and I'm only like a couple hours in, but yeah, and it's my first Pikmin game, but I can understand, like, already I'm like, oh, I now understand what Wolf means by the gameplay loop. Like I can see where it's going. I'm like, oh yeah, this scratches an itch in my brain. I'm a fan of this.
God, I kind of want to replay it now. I love that game so much. And then October 6th, we got Garbage with Detective Pikachu. God bless. And then on the 20th, same day as Spider-Man 2, I remember because I picked it up. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. This is the first 2D Mario game in a long time, and I'll be honest, I look back on this game and I'm like, I really liked it, obviously, but I don't look back on it as like one of my favorite Mario games. It's one that's like, it's very formulaic. I don't want to say formulaic because it's so creative with its wonder mechanics, but I feel like it's like, you guys didn't take extra steps. Like it feels like you kind of missed the mark, especially when it comes to like boss fights and like certain areas. And the game's really easy up until like literally the final level where it's brutal. I really like Mario Wonder, but it's not like, it's nowhere near my top 10. Or I don't want to say nowhere near, but it's like, it's not one I think about a lot.
Yeah, and it's weird to say, but like going up until the end of the game, it's like pretty good, but there's like no post-game content, and that's kind of weird for a Mario game. And it like it leaves you kind of wanting more, but it doesn't give you that.
Exactly. It feels like it's like there should have been way more to that like final world. Because like the final levels in that game, I'm like, damn, I wish the whole game was like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conversely, for me, it's tied at like number 5. Like I put Mario Wonder and 3D World at like the same spot because,
Oh yeah, respect.
uh, yeah, because yeah, I just enjoyed this a ton. This is a great 2D Mario platformer. The art style is beautiful, and I do really like the Wonder power ups because like for me, I just found the creativity in each of them and like the music. It was just a fun time overall.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
respect it. It's like this is a very high quality game. I don't want to like say like I'm disappointed, but it was like I do wish I stuck with it longer. I wish I was like able to like be like I want to like jump back into Wonder. It's like yeah, no, I beat that game and I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, Wonder barely missed my list, but it's really good. But yeah, to go back to what you were saying, Wolf, it's almost like the Wonder mechanic felt more like a gimmick because they never really like evolved it throughout the game, and that was a little bit of a bummer. Even though I enjoyed the Wonder mechanic every single time, it always put a smile on my face. But yeah, it does feel like there's something missing about that game. But that doesn't take away from it still being a very, very good 2D platformer.
Yeah. Wolf, I have a question kind of about the Switch. Will we ever have a console with as many games as the Switch has made by the primary developer?
Dude, it's kind of
Again.
insane how we're still talking about games. Like I felt like we were gonna be done by now. It's like, dude, they released so much shit in 2023. Like, why? Like 6 years after the console comes out, and you're still releasing games. I feel like now more than ever, that's not happening again because console development takes so much longer. It's like Sony is not going to be able to do this for like PS6 because of how long their games take. It's incredible what the Switch was able to accomplish just from a game standpoint. WarioWare move in November 3rd. I played this game. It's fun, but there's
Good one.
It's not a lot to it. I don't know how you guys feel. My problem with WarioWare is it's always like it feels like it ends way too soon. It's like, damn, I got 2 hours of content out of that.
Yep.
Another bop and bench argument. I feel like you guys don't like each other at this point. Super Mario RPG. I only played a little bit of it, so I don't have much to say.
Disappointing, but we're here for speaking positive, so I'll let Bob take it away.
Thank you, Bench. A gentleman and a scholar. Yeah, this is my number 8 game on my list. I was always a game I meant to play on my SNES Mini when that came out, and I just never got to it. But it always, I always heard good things about it. Of course, it was co-developed with SquareSoft originally, and then they, that's also why people were convinced it would never be remade because of just the weird licensing agreement there. But yeah, they managed to remake it, and I think it's one of the best looking Switch games. I love the art style. I think it's the funniest humor that any Mario game has ever had. I think it actually tells a very interesting and unique story. I think the combat's really good. The music is also great. I think, I think my favorite part about it is that it's not too long of a game. It's kind of like what you were saying, Wolf. It's like it doesn't. Like it gets in, and right when you're like, you know what, I think we're at a good stopping point. It's like, cool, we're wrapping up anyway. Like you get in, you get out with less than 15 hours, and I think I don't think it overstays its welcome.
Yeah,
Mario games are usually really good about pacing.
This starts like the Mario RPG Renaissance. Like every one of the pillars came back.
Yeah, no, Mario RPG. I mean, like we could talk about is like 3 Mario RPGs released within a year, which is insanity. But yeah, that's 2023. I mean, God, dude, this is like one of the last years of the Switch, and I'd say this is easily one of the best years. I mean, you got a 3D Zelda game, a 2D Mario game, Pikmin 4, which is the greatest gift God gave to humanity. Unreal what they were able to do this late into the game. And now 2024, I think already, like I would say, this is one of the weakest years of the Switch, but we'll move into it. This is definitely the year where I was like, man, we need a Switch too. Another good recollection, not much to say there. Mario vs. Donkey Kong. This is a game that I remember when it was coming out in the Discord. I kept saying, "It's like I'm not buying this full price." And I was like, "Oh no, am I gonna?" And then I played the demo. I was like, "Oh no, never mind. I don't need to buy this." I just thought it was like a funny one. And then Princess Peach Showtime on March 22nd. I tried the demo. I'm like, this is lame. I was so disappointed. Good. This is another Goodfield game who did Crafted World, and I'm just like, I'm of the mind that Goodfield is kind of washed. Which they were a really good studio for a while, but like now their games are just like, it feels like they just make baby games now, which is really disappointing because I really loved like Kirby's Epic Yarn, Endless Ocean Luminous, which famously is like one of the lowest reviewed Switch games. Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door remake. After a sea of mid, we finally got a fire ass game. Granted, it's a remake, but I really love this game. One of my favorite RPGs of all time. All fully remade. And it's like, damn, playing this game again. I was like, finally, I beat it for the first time. And it's like, love this game still to this day.
Oh, it's such a good like visual like spectacle. But the way they remade it, it was amazing.
It's beautiful, yeah. And then we get into Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, which whatever. Nintendo World Championships. I was tempted to check that out, but yeah, it's just like
Wolf, I totally just remembered a third-party game that I don't think we brought up. It could just be real quick, but Celeste in 2018.
Yeah.
I've been playing through it recently. Really good platformer, and I really like the story it's telling.
Yeah, no, that's a very solid game. Fusion thinks I hate that game, which is funny, but it's like I do like that game. Very solid game. Emio the Smiling Man.
Yeah, number 6.
I know you love this game, Jet.
Oh yes. Oh, yeah. I talked about it during the Soggies, but man, this is like a rated M Nintendo game with a really, really good narrative and a very dark narrative too. But oh my gosh, it was just the perfect com I needed of like of the Ace Attorney style gameplay and this like a dark narrative that is kind of mindfuckery. I loved it. Highly recommend.
Yeah, dude, I'd love to play it. I mean, I'm a sucker for a good visual novel every now and then. It looks cool. I'm into the style of it. And then September 26th, we got a new 2D Zelda, Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I didn't play this game enough. I really should go back to it, but Ben, you played this one.
I did, and I'll represent Jack here. While I don't love it as much as he does, I really did enjoy Echoes of Wisdom, and I thought it's definitely underappreciated and just Hyrule recreated in that Link's Awakening kind of art style. It kind of being more open, you can kind of do what you want, being pretty. Gameplay I liked, and the final boss sequence of that game was just some really cool stuff. It was difficult, challenging, and its puzzles and combat, and it was really like satisfying to beat.
Yeah, I feel like I was like right at the hump to where like I would have really started enjoying it. So I do want to go back to it soon. Probably for Switch too, because like man, those frame rate dips. Oh my god, I'm getting so sick of them. And then Jet, a Mario Party that's good, and it's a new one. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Fuck yeah! Finally.
Fuck yeah. It's my number 10, and
nice.
I enjoy this one a ton. It's like finally the Mario Party I really wanted. Like, yeah, I could have played Superstar, but like no, Jamboree. They really said, yeah, we'll take it another step further, and yeah, so such a good game.
Yeah, this is my number 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was probably be Superstars, but the more I've played of Jamboree, like they have really, really good maps, really good new mini games, some interesting new mechanics, and I think for me, like it brings back a little bit of the like, we're not playing as with each other and celebrating each other. We are playing against each other. I am stealing from you. I will be your enemy by the end of this game. And I think some of the later Mario parties got away from that, especially the first Super Mario Party on the Switch. So for Mario Party Jamboree to kind of bring it back to what makes a Mario Party, and it's still being good and executing on everything. Yeah, I couldn't ask for more. I think it's a fantastic game.
And then we get into the very next month, Mario and Luigi Brothership. I mean, yet again, part of that Mario RPG Renaissance 3 within a year. This one got mixed reviews. I haven't played it, but I know Bob and Bench, you guys liked it.
and I've also played, but I don't know if any of us finished it.
Oh,
No,
none of you
it's just-
finished it?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Wow, okay. Because, okay. Maybe
Well,
like
that's why
Rosemary,
it's
you would be-
divisive. Is that it definitely
long.
caught me. Yeah, it got me in the first like 5-10 hours, but like I realized
stop.
where I was and where I had to go, and I'm like, dude, I'm not even 25% of the way through this game, and it just keeps stopping and explaining and talking, and I have to go do these things. I'm like, dude, I like this game, but like talk about bad pacing. I mean, this game is a victim of just some of the worst pacing I've ever seen in a game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hate to say that because I really do enjoy a lot of this game, but I just could not handle the pacing.
One thing
Agreed.
I wish they did, because like when you die a couple times, you can restart it in easy mode. I wish that they just gave an easy mode option to just for me to play it throughout, so I don't have to like grind too much. I can just have an easier time playing this game because I feel like it just takes a while with battles otherwise.
Ben, this is your franchise. Do you have anything more to add?
It's just it caught me at a bad time, and it's like Bob said. It's just the pacing is terrible. Like once you get in a groove, then you need to click through text bubbles for 5 to 10 minutes. Like every time you think, okay, I'm settling in, it's annoying text bubbles for a long time, and it's like I just don't have the energy for that at the current time. And maybe that'll change later, but because I do love this franchise, it was just I don't have the energy to go through that currently.
There was a lot of backtracking to very early in the game, and it's like you're making me backtrack now. Like this is not good.
Yeah.
Man, backtracking is the worst. And then we finally move into 2025. Obviously, this year is not over, and we're probably going to get a lot of stuff in that direct and immediately have this stuff be outdated. But we might as well just talk about what is out. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I checked it out. It's fine. It's very much it's an amazing game, but as a port, it's like nothing. They barely did anything to that game. And then also Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. I know you've been playing it, Bench.
Yeah, I'm about 25 hours in now. And to say this
It
game
just came out.
came out like a week ago.
25 in a week. Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
So to say this game is big is an understatement of the century. Because this game is just might be the biggest open world I've ever played through.
It's like
'Cause
5 times the size of Skyrim, I think.
yeah, it's just the side content is abundant and very good. So it's just every time I feel like I'm chipping away, there's more to do. And that's a good and bad thing, but I'm really enjoying it so far. And like the gameplay just got a new system, which builds on some things. And I'm 25 hours in, I don't have the mechs. I don't know when that's happening. I know it hasn't happened yet though.
I have heard it's deep into the game. Which is
Well,
funny.
you get the mechs, and then you can't fly in the mechs until like 25 hours after that.
Oh, okay.
So, but I don't have. Yeah, it's just on top of like I had this crazy ass twist in the game like a couple hours ago in game time, and it was just left me like staring and rethinking things throughout the game. And even if this game isn't super story oriented, it was like, oh shit, this just the setting and the art direction and like kind of the world building, it's all so cool.
Two more things I want to bring up before we kind of head out of here because I don't know we're tired here, but a lot of fun discussions. What's it called? Shin Megami Tensei 5. I never mentioned that earlier. That did come exclusively to Switch for a little bit, which is cool. I'd like to check that out eventually. But shout out to that. But also never mentioned NSO.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing with NSO, if you guys remember, when it first launched, was depressing. It was effectively, it was like, yeah, $20 a year, it's nothing. So it's like, yeah, sure. But it was like, hey, that online you got for free, now you got to pay for it. And also, it's like you get cloud saves, you get some other cool perks, but it's like also you get NES games, which is like anyone can fucking play NES games. It's like whatever. But then over time, they started adding stuff. They did SNES in 2019. Then by 2021, I think they did N64. They added GBA, Game Boy. They added stuff. Now, granted, a lot of that stuff was into the $50 tier. That's true. The $50 tier also added DLC, like the Animal Crossing one, the Splatoon stuff,
Mario Kart.
and Mario Kart. That's all through NSO, and it's like I say with the $50 a year, even though the online for Nintendo Switch is still not what it needs to be, it's still very buggy and messed up. I think NSO is fine. I think NSO at $50 a month, at least to me as a virtual console like equivalent, I think this is way better than virtual console, personally. And
Yeah.
I would say like I use NSO a lot, especially dude, my favorite game. They have Pokemon Puzzle League. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's a fun one to like just play around with. But I think as just like a hey, I want to play an old Nintendo game that I really like appreciate or love or play for the first time. It's like they have a pretty decent selection now. Not everything, but like more than you need.
I agree. I think it's worth the price now.
And then just real fast, I think Jack posted his top 10, and I just want to shout them out. His top 10 are Astral Chain, No More Heroes 3, which you never mentioned, by the way, but no, that was an interesting choice. Untitled Goose Game, Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Ultimate. Thank Goodness You're Here, which is the most British game ever, so I don't.
Yeah, good game.
Neo, The World Ends With You, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, The Messenger, Tears of the
Great game.
Kingdom, and Super Mario Odyssey. Which, by the way, I want to point out, Jack is the biggest Zelda fan I know, and he put Mario Odyssey over Tears of the Kingdom, which is fascinating. I respect it. That's fire. But yeah, that's the Switch, boys. We talked a lot about this. We got a lot of thoughts, but just final thoughts on the Nintendo Switch generation as a whole as we move into the Switch 2. I guess I'll start. It's like, I think this is one of the best video game console libraries of all time. It's kind of hard to try to debate against it. Just the amount of years of content and games for what is frankly an underpowered device, but they put out as much as they could on such a let's be honest, like underdeveloped device, and it's incredible what it was able to do this many years later. We were still getting games for it. I mean, we literally just got a game for it last week. It's a very incredible device, and I'm a big Switch fan. But I am of the mind of like let's bring out Switch 2, and the excitement is insanely high around here.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite video game console of all time. And I think just in that top upper echelon of video game consoles because of its library and just Nintendo's unique style of game and like the breadth of content and genres they offer, and also the amount you're getting. Because there's new games like every month or two, and that's about to obviously Switch 2 can't get here soon enough. Because I know all of our Switches have been gathering a bit of dust over the last couple months.
Hey, not me, man. I'm playing Picross.
Playing Pikmin.
Hell yeah, man. Oh, Bob, let's get to you. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of the greatest consoles and console libraries of all time. And yeah, you kind of touched on it, Wolf. I think what makes the Switch so impressive is that in an era where its competition is chasing 4K and the highest fidelity graphics and all of these other things that honestly can kind of take up development time and cost a lot of money. Nintendo kind of went their own path and said, no, we're not, we're going to continue to not go down that route, and we're going to make something that's already, it's going to come out and the hardware is already inferior to the console that you guys released 4 years prior, and yet still it's going to, just have these games that still somehow look so good and perform pretty well. And I think it's just a testament to both Nintendo, their developers, their hardware team. Like there's no reason this thing should have been as successful as it was and have so many great games for it. Yet here we are. So I think the Switch 2 has some big shoes to fill, and it doesn't necessarily have to fill them, but I think it'll do just fine kind of keeping that torch going forward.
Yeah, no, 100%. It goes to show it's like when a lot of these game companies are kind of struggling to put stuff out with these insanely long development cycles. It's always impressive the amount of games. I mean, we didn't mention it, but stuff like Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door was made it was completely finished a year before it came out. They hold on to games, which is really fascinating.
Yeah.
You don't see other companies able to do that. But John, what about you? Your final thoughts on it?
So yeah, I think the Switch, from start to finish, easily one of the best console libraries, like that appeals to both casual and hardcore gamers. Like they got a diverse lineup, and honestly, yeah, I think the Switch would also be my favorite console that I just own, even though I haven't played it in some time. It's just great to just sit down and just like play something like 30 World, yeah, because it's just something so casual, or like or hop on Tetris 99, because that's the thing that the Switch has, is just all these like amazing options, and I'm looking forward to like what they're gonna do, how they're gonna move forward with the Switch 2, and now it's gonna be kind of like a unified thing where they're not doing something totally different like Wii U to Switch. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, dude. No, I mean, like the Switch 2 hype is very palpable, and we'll be talking a lot about the Switch 2 and this. I mean, the Switch 1 actually with the next Direct tomorrow. Lots of exciting stuff all around though. If you guys enjoyed this pretty long podcast, I'll be honest, longer than I expected, but we had a lot to say. There's a lot of great games on this console. Check us out again on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Your favorite podcast platforms are going to be on there. Like the podcast on YouTube, and please check us out on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming. But with that, say good night, everybody.
Good night.
Gonna
I'm so sleepy.